All
It's
right.
time to meet the right.
Good evening, everybody.
It's time to
Hello,
dress
John. Hello. Oh my God. I'm so glad you could make it, everybody. That's John Lamont in the chat. And the thing I modeled this writers group after, John used to be a part of back when we both lived in California or Los Angeles. And as with so many Los Angelians, we are now no longer in Los Angeles. So John is out there in Florida, I believe. But, you know, he still sends me scripts and script ideas and all kinds of stuff. And, John, I would love it if you would come in and present some of your pages here sometime, because you were writing some good stuff, always very action heavy. So, and, you know, I think John may be joining me on this boat, that making comic books is kind of a fantastic passion for, you know, kind of for writers just in general who want to commercial, because, well, I guess what I'm saying is there's a lot of passion and finesse behind wanting to be a screenwriter, but the truth is I think comics are more dependable and more profitable and use very much of the same skills. So that's what I have to say. Anyway, Lorenzo is asking to no longer be blocked. So this is Writers Group and Twitter customer service. So there you go, Zombie. Lorenzo is asking to please be unblocked on behalf of him and the other Sleestack kind. But tonight we have some pages from Tony S. And if from no one else, then I will present something that I've been wanting to talk about here for a while. But Tony, why don't you tell us about your story?
Well, it's a comic that I've been working on for quite some time. I brought the last draft of the script I brought in a couple months ago by now, and from some very good advice that I got here, I've been revising it. This draft I'm pretty happy with, and unless I get some particularly scathing criticism, then I think this will be the draft I stick with. It's about set in the future, post-apocalyptic, to the point where humanity's rebuilt itself, but competitive rating is now a sport where kids and adults alike, but in this case, a group of kids, they have their own rating group, and they're competing in this local tournament where they want to rise up the ranks.
By the way, Asuka, they, you know, are always welcome, but, you know, they are brothers, and they do seem to, I believe they live together, and their schedules vary together. And school or I don't know, something upshot was we're going to not be in writers group for a few weeks or something. So until their schedule changes again. So yeah, sorry, but I'm glad to see that those two were a draw. They've got their thing. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Lorenzo, I promise I will ask Zombie behind the scenes. Okay, big guy. Just calm down. So Lorenzo gets a little excited sometimes. And I do my best to try and be a calming influence.
I had no idea that my Twitter content was so high protein. I mean, I don't think he's really missing anything other than
look, you have to understand. Look, Lorenzo is to me, I've never met him, but he reminds me a little bit of like Thelonious Monk. You know, he's very like fastidious, but like he gets kind of agitated when things are out of place sometimes. So if we could write the thing that's out of place, then we won't have to worry about this.
We don't want him becoming our Mike S. Miller.
We don't. So there you go. Okay, so Tony, you were saying.
That's about it with my comic.
Okay.
Like I said, this will probably be the draft I stick with, unless
look, Tony, I don't give a damn if this is the draft you stick with or not. That couldn't make the slightest difference to me. So I want you to tell me about something I should care about this story.
Well, it's full of action. If you like young adult stories or stories about young adults with a really awesome and amazing futuristic setting that the likes of which no man has ever seen before, then you will love this comic.
All right. I mean, to me, look, I gotta say, okay, good on you for stepping up. I appreciate that. To me, everything you said is kind of generic. All right. It's about setting, and it's not about passion or pain or character. You know,
Right.
we've got some main characters who are kind of actiony, and if you happen to like this other stuff, you'll probably like this. It's in a futurism. Like, what's your main character's name?
Shane Cockerton.
And why should I care about Shane Cockerton?
Let's see. He is a determined young man who really just wants to find his place in the universe.
There we go. Right there. Yeah. See, that was good. I like that. Then what happens?
Well, he gets his ass handed to him.
But see, you're 2 lines in. I love it. You see how that worked?
Yeah.
See, I want the
that conflict you're always looking for.
Right. Yes, that's the conflict I'm always looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and look through these. So, did we already do pages 1 through 10 previously? What pages are you presenting?
Well, we're going to start with the first 10 pages because it's very, like, a lot of, aside from like 2 or 3 pages, they're all very different.
Okay. All right. I'll make this. Oh, there we go. So, let me share. Application window, boom, sharing. Okay, so I'm seeing we're obviously going to need a narrator, and we got Fal, Shane, Rhea. Fal, Shane, Rhea. All right, so go ahead and assign narrator Fal, Shane, and Rhea.
Okay, I'll be a narrator. Shane can be Preston. You can be Shane.
Very good.
Mr. McCheese, you can be Fal.
Thank you.
AK-47, Rhea. There's 2 more characters. Ardent. I can be Ardent. Preston. No, wait, actually, McCheese, you can be Hunter. And I think that's everyone. If I've missed anyone, I can pick it up myself.
Okay, so I am Shane.
Sorry, I was away from the keyboard. Who am I, if anybody?
Oh, yeah, you can be Ardent. I forgot you were there because your screen's blank.
Okay.
All right. We'll get started.
All right, so we got Fal, Shane, Rhea, and I am Shane, and who else?
I think that's it. Hunter is...
Okay, all right, cool. Then I am just Shane. Go for it.
All right. Shot of a warehouse that has been abandoned for decades. Much of the architecture is crumbling. Grass is growing from the cracks in the parking lot. By the boarded-up entrance, there are 3 13-year-olds goofing around. Fal Hawkins is balancing on the hoverboard while Shane Cockerton and Rhea Kinney lean on the wall and watch.
Fal. Who is Fal?
This is McCheese.
Oh, I'm Fal. I thought I was Hunter.
You're both of them.
Oh, okay. Hey guys, watch this.
Okay, we're watching.
Any day now.
Fal attempts to perform a kickflip. He stumbles and falls off the board.
Crap.
Shane and Rhea are somewhat unimpressed.
Cool, I guess.
Yeah, no.
Fal holds his board up and points at the 2 with it. Rhea gets up and grabs it, sneering.
Okay, this time I'll land it perfectly.
Oh, you're full of shit. Let me show you how to do it.
All right, Miss Rhea, but on one condition.
Fal leers at Rhea with a big dumb grin.
If you bail, you got to do the next one topless.
Page 2. Rhea kicks Fal in the knee.
Ow! Okay.
Shane puts his hand on Fal's shoulder, the both of them walking over to the door of the warehouse.
Don't worry, Fal. I'll go draw 2 circles on a wall. You won't know the difference.
Shane and Fal stop in front of the door. Shane leans against it with a snarky expression. Rhea, following them, jabs the hoverboard at Shane with a good-natured sneer.
Screw you, Cockerton.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Fal checks his watch. Shane looks around, disappointment growing as an expression. Rhea rolls her eyes.
We've got 10 minutes. Maybe we should head in without him?
Let's see. Do I have a line? Oh, yeah. Don't want to be late.
Fal and Rhea head into the warehouse. Shane turns, lagging behind them. Page 3. The kids enter the warehouse. Dozens of kids are gathered in groups across the layout. There should be a few banners here and there labeled National Rating League.
Aha. All right, everyone. The match is about to start, so if you haven't already, get to a ticket station to register your team and receive your trackers.
Rhea rides the hoverboard in the background, flailing for balance and completely failing to look cool as Shane and Fal debate in the foreground, ignoring her.
You know, I heard that girls can make their boobs grow bigger if they drink a lot of milk.
Heard from who?
Shane and Fal walk over to a kiosk. Shane places a card on the scanner. Rhea falls on her butt as the boys continue their debate.
Pete Dunbar.
That same Pete Dunbar that works behind the counter at Stop 24?
Yeah. He said his sister drank 5 pints of milk a day all through freshman year, and she had double D's by summer vacation.
Shane takes the device out of the machine. He grows increasingly skeptical as Fal looks off wistfully. Rhea walks up to them carrying the board.
I think he was just messing with you.
There's got to be some scientific stuff to back it up. I mean, it seems legit. A man can dream.
Shane places the device on his chest. Rhea hands Fal the hoverboard, a card in her other hand, a dry look in her eyes.
Here's your board back. It sucks.
A figure approaches the three kids.
Hey, challengers!
3 older teenagers, Hunter, Monk, and Dean, confront the kids.
Late to the party, I see. 1 member short, too.
Yeah, lucky for you, Hunter. Guess we'll be evenly matched.
Hunter moves in close to Shane, looming over him. Shane glares up at him.
If I were you, I wouldn't tempt fate.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll.
The speaker blares over the crowd.
Attention! The match begins in 5 minutes. Please gather outside in the starting area.
Hunter and his posse walk away from the
But
kids.
by the way, John has a question. Yes, that milk boob joke that joke was in the prior draft. So yeah. So I guess he's a fan of the show. But yes, that joke was good enough to keep, and I'm glad you did. So go ahead.
I'm glad that John's a fan.
Exactly. Yeah, he's following your work, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
paying attention.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Shane. Oh yeah, Shane snaps his fingers, erates. Rhea attaches her track to her shirt, side-eyeing Shane.
Wait, which panel are we on?
Panel 5.
Panel 5. Okay, sorry. Damn it! And I had the perfect comeback ready.
Sure.
The 8 teams assemble in the parking lot outside the warehouse. There are several drones flying over the area, some showing bright red lights, others projecting holographic ranking boards.
And a reminder that non-lethal self-defense weapons must be registered before a match or face immediate penalty.
Shane, Fal, and Rhea stretch in preparation along with the kids in the background and foreground.
Lethal weaponry is strictly prohibited and subject to...
Men, last 2 weeks of the season, and they're still gotta go through the rule book. Man.
I heard it's because of what happened in Centerville.
Come on, it's not like anyone got killed. Plus, I heard that kid got a new eye, not to mention.
Fal points up one of the screens.
Look, they're showing the map.
4 drones assemble in the sky, projecting a massive square hologram, a vague image showing through clusters of pixels. The glow of the hologram reflects in Shane's wide-open eyes. Page 6. Wide shot of the map, a satellite view of the area, which encompasses roughly a square mile of terrain. There are 4 colored circles showing search areas. In the crowd of kids, many mount electric bicycles.
Today's match will take place in a 1.1 square mile playing field. The search areas each contain 1 package. The 4 teams that bring back a package will progress to the division finals.
Shane spaces out, sighing.
In the event that 1 or more of the packages are not brought back to the goal area by sundown, the remaining teams will...
Shane is slapped on the back by Donnie, whose face is out of frame. Quit your daydreaming, Cockerton. Shane spins around with a big smile. Donnie smiles back at him. Rhea and Fal gather around.
Donnie, you made it.
Of course I did. You'd think I'd miss this.
We were starting to, yeah.
Starting to?
Shane, Fal, and Rhea and Donnie huddle and discuss their plan.
So, what's the plan, Cap?
We're going straight to the furthest east circle. You and Fal lead the charge. Get to the center as fast as you can and set up a rally point. Me and Rhea will meet you there and provide cover. A cart holding 3 bikes is wheeled over to the group via drone. Shane and Val take theirs off the rack while Rhea and Donnie banter.
You didn't bring a bike?
Don't need one. Try to keep up. Page 7. The groups of kids prepare themselves.
Ardent.
All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to quieten my dog. Players, take your mark.
Shane looks over at Hunter's team. All of them are on heavily customized armored bikes.
5,
Close-up of Hunter, looking straight at Shane with a wide smirk.
4,
Shane glares back at Hunter, smirking the same.
3,
Hunter and his team rev up their bikes, electricity arcing from the wheels.
2,
Shane and his friends line up, staring straight ahead, itching to take off at any moment.
1.
Extreme close-up of Shane's mouth. Takes a deep breath. Page 8. The crowd of kids scatters, each team racing their own separate ways.
Go!
The 3 teams, 12 kids in total, fire their stun guns at each other, some getting knocked off their bikes by bright blue streaks of light. Shane and Val look back at the display in the distance as they race in the opposite direction.
Man, what a cluster! Donnie sure made the right call.
Yeah, definitely.
Shane and Val ride up the main road alone. The buildings are all abandoned, only a few bearing semblance of being former shops and restaurants. Page 9. Shane and Val arrived at an abandoned supermarket. Shane is checking the map that's up in front of his handlebars in hologram form, pointing out at the building.
Looks like we're smack dab in the middle of the search area. Let's wait over there for Rhea and Donnie.
Okay.
They walk their bikes up to the front entrance. Shane leans up against the wall to take a breather. A hologram blinks in front of his face.
Huh?
Val walks over to Shane as Shane checks his scanner.
What is it?
I think my scanner just picked up that package.
Val huddles up next to Shane excitedly.
Already? No way.
Yeah, looks like it's close by, like really close.
Page 10. Shane looks into the window of the supermarket, wiping a thick film of dust from it.
I got a feeling it's in there.
You sure?
No, I just said it's a feeling. But I'm going in anyway.
Val takes both his and Shane's bikes and walks them around the corner.
All right. I'll go look up our bikes. Be back in a sec.
Sure thing.
Shane stands at the entrance, looking back at Forth. He pushes the door open with his shoulder, straining slightly.
All right, 10 pages. There we go. Who wants to start?
I can start if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, what a dramatic change in the script from previous draft to this. This is it doesn't seem to have changed the premise, but it's very impressive. You've got a very clear through line now. There's a lot of stuff you've taken out. I think you can build the atmosphere you want with the brevity that you've now got, and then the focus on the kicking off of the race. So I think that's very effective, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like these pages a lot more than the first draft of them. Oh, hold on. We have a new person. Hello, new person. Oh, people were asking for you. So
now I am here.
now you are here.
I was just sitting in to eat breakfast first.
Oh.
I just woke up. It's appointment viewing.
All right, so you just woke up, so you didn't hear about these pages at all?
I was listening to the last few. It sounds like the whole intro has changed as far as
The whole intro has changed, as I was just saying. These are way stronger. We are kind of building stakes. We introduced a conflict, which is, these kids are raiders, and it's important to them, and they're in a competitive environment, and they see the other team and whatnot, and they're like, hell yeah, let's go.
That's a nice, strong establishment. That can be one of the hardest things to nail, but it's also one of the easiest things to revise, which is kind of the fun thing of writing.
Yeah. And
it doesn't have a confused premise anymore either. Like before, it had two different tones: the smashed up post-apocalyptic world, which is a downer, and then the kind of excitement and who the hell are these? And who the hell are these? And why do I care? Whereas now, as much as you can without being unprofessional, you have absolutely spelled it out so quickly. We got Netflix young adult story written all over it, which is not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, and yes, this is the second revision. Although John says this is the first time he heard those pages, and that he thought maybe that the boob joke was out there outside of the script. I don't know, but whatever.
From Animu or something.
Let's see, Mecca. What do you got for me?
So I wasn't here for the first time the script came around. So
that's fine.
It was interesting. I'm seeing this as sort of like a Hunger Games kind of thing.
Yeah, except no one, or like at least they try to make sure nobody dies.
Oh, yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, I liked it.
All right. AK-47?
Yeah, this is the first time that I've heard of this, but I think it's solid for what it has right now. Like you've painted the world to feel like you said this was like they needed to rebuild, right? And I got that image, but like it is not a but that's bad. It's just the world is rebuilding, but they don't have like fear or anything, and I think that's a good thing because a lot of people tend to take that like, you know, we're rebuilding and try to like fill it with fear and hopelessness and stuff, and this just seems like it's going for something else, you know. I think that's
80s low budget film apocalypse, like Cherry 2000. Like I said, the first time this was shown, they have that sort of life going on in its own weird way after some sort of societal collapse. It's much more interesting than a relentless dystopia where predictably everything is negative and gets more negative, because that's just done to death and dull. At least in this, you've got a backdrop of a dystopia, but you don't have this sort of, and because of that, everything is horrible, because life would go on, people would adapt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought of it. It's pretty good for establishing that.
All right. Constructives. I mean, I don't have a ton of constructives on this one. Like, I think, you know, that's a pretty solid open. You know, like you've gotten me interested in what's going on, and I've been introduced to the cast of characters as well as their opponents. Although, you know, I mean, being familiar with the pages that go on after this, I'm wondering, like, but is it going to be relevant? But I mean, I'm going to forget about the rest of that, and I'm just going to go based on these 10 pages. I want to see what happens to these raiders in regards to their raid, and I hope that story continues, and I'll be disappointed if we start veering off in some other direction.
Yeah, I guess the next part of this is very similar to the last, like in terms of a sequence of events, I guess.
Okay. Because last time, all right, so previously in the prior draft, right, they go in and they found the zip drives or whatnot, right? And then, yeah, on pages like 11 through 20, there was big fight. So pages 11 through 20 here are going to be big fight?
Yeah. Or 11 through 17 at this point, because I managed to shorten it.
Okay. All right. Well, shortening is good. Okay. Yeah. So they're going to go in and they're going to do big fight. And then, okay. And big fight continues from this thing. Great. So far, so good. So all the changes have been in a positive direction. Now, what happened on pages 21 through 30 is then it got very slice of lifey, and we were kind of following these people around through their ordinary day-to-day existences in this future setting, which didn't seem all that bad. So it wasn't like Mad Maxian. It was, you know, It was kind of 80s, you know. It felt like they were teenagers in malls and shit. But and like that to me really took it down because like, you know, there wasn't the excitement that you had just presented here. So
like I want to avoid making it all action all the time.
Right. I mean, you could. I mean, 1917 or John Wick or whatnot. Like, there's nothing wrong with just action on action on action.
If that's what you're going for,
right? But I mean, so I'm saying, don't write a scene just to fill space between action scenes. If you find yourself doing that, just cut it and just go with action scene to action scene. You know.
Sure. If it doesn't have action, it's pushing the story along.
Yeah.
It should provide natural pauses anyway. If you have proper action scenes, then they'll have a natural conclusion each time, and then you can have a little bit of a taking stock, even if it's for a few panels and not a full page.
Right.
And then just resume. Just feel the energy and go with it. Let it flow. Don't artificially interrupt it for your slice of life stuff, because that will come.
Yeah. And yeah, like every scene, to me, that's how I approach it. Every scene needs to be compelling, and if it's not compelling, cut it. You know, like every scene has to fight for its life. No scene gets a free pass because I needed a pause between action beats. You know, so that's my advice.
Right.
It's not a film as well, so I still think the generation growing up purely on film and streaming shows and television have they've lost the ability to inflect sequential art like comic books. They've lost the art of taking out all those extraneities. They keep them in because films have them in. But if you look at the Tintin stuff, like with Hergé, there's so many more panels, and he just keeps cutting them out. Pages and pages. Sometimes he just keeps cutting them out to make it sharper and quicker.
Well, and think about when Preston's talking about it. He's also a guy paying for these pages. That notion probably makes a little more real for him, in that he probably wouldn't spend $200 for an artist to draw something he thought was boring
or didn't need to be in the story. If it can be cut, it's like, well, save myself $150, $200.
Well, yeah, and here, look, I'll pull up an example and show you out of White Lily, which somebody telling me on YouTube today was an absolute travesty, and I ought to be ashamed of myself.
Why? What was the reason for saying that?
Well, first they were like,
I mean, was it genuine, or was it just?
No, it was one of those people giving me a critique who had never actually read my book.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was in the comic? What was in the actual page that was a travesty?
It's funny when I'm getting
nothing again.
Yeah, when I'm getting hateful notes from somebody who never actually read the damn thing. Okay, it's like
I think that's what makes us so terrifying to them is we're actually reading their comics and giving criticism. It's the exact thing they don't want, because if someone's like, "Oh, your comic sucks, I hate it," and there's no reason, it's like, okay, you're just angry, most likely about something else. But if someone's like, "Here's the part of your comic that sucks, and here's why," then that's like, oh shit, I got to do something now.
Yeah, that is totally it.
That's a shame.
One thing I gotta say is that if you have an action scene and then you're going to your not action scene right after, if you're doing like a hard cut, that could still work, because it's like if you're going for like an intense contrast intentionally of like, oh, these kids, they're in action, they're in this crazy situation, and then it's like, say you do a hard cut flashback to just before, and they're like, oh, what's going on? Oh, tonight is the big show. Something like that. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of approaches. There's a lot of ways to do that.
Like here, let me. I'm gonna show you White Lily a little bit. So this is gonna be White Lily issue 4.
With the technology in your script, Tony.
Hi, Vicky. Vicky, I don't have room.
I can step out if she wants to come in.
No,
have you given a lot of thought to your technology, like these bikes and weaponry and things?
Yeah.
Like, have you got sort of schematics or an idea of what they look like and all that sort of stuff already?
Yeah, I've been drawing up what the bikes look like, what the hoverboards, and I've also been like thinking about like technology in relation to other technology. So it's like are there hovering cars? They're like not all of them are consumer ready, and like going through all this, like I guess spraying down through my series Bible, just saying, that like technology is not. I think I've discussed this before. Is that technology is at this point, it's not like spacefaring, but there are like stations orbiting Earth that mine asteroids. We're at that level. Space elevator, maybe, and so I'm just mapping out.
Specifically, like what the kids are riding. Are they? Is there a production model of those sorts of vehicles, or is it all scavenged and home built?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I'll have to think about that.
Because you're going to see those things a lot from every angle. So it's as important as horses in a cowboy story, really. In fact, more so.
Yeah.
You've started off with a vehicle-based race, so that's attracted to people who like technology stories and race stories. So if you look at a lot of that Japanese art, that's one of the things they copied from the Belgians of the 20s, is getting the technology drawings, draftsmanship, just so exquisite that even goofy-looking Japanese characters, they're almost secondary to just the gorgeous appearance of the technology that they draw, those fine line drawings and so on. So I definitely consider it, because you don't really want to cop out on that. You don't want to have the breadstick, cardboard box gun type stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Straw guns.
No.
Yeah, you sort of need to have that reality about the technology, I really think. Especially in this sort of thing where they're scavenging technology anyway. You kind of need that in your Bible and your continuity about the technological basis and what it all looks like.
Yeah.
It does make a difference. It drops me out of science fiction when I bother to read science fiction. Straight away when they're just drawing mid-20th century weaponry, or when they're drawing weaponry that it just seems very inconsistent. Like, you don't see the same piece of technology twice, because it's obvious that they're not working from a model reference. It just, I don't know, just seems a bit hokey. But if they're all scavenged, then each person's vehicle could be different from all the others. And you can personalize them with color and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to show you some of my writing here, just to kind of show you some of my philosophy at work. So this is White Lily issue 4. If you haven't read issue 4 and are concerned about spoilers, you should probably go watch another show. All right, so.
Oh crap!
What?
You said you should go watch another show. I'm in the show.
Oh, okay. You haven't read issue 4?
No, I've been waiting for your trade paperback.
Oh, okay.
No escape now.
All right. Well, never mind. But here, you know what? I'll pull up Guinevere 2. It's okay if I pull up the scene from Guinevere 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, all right. I didn't know I couldn't reference White Lily. Hold on. Guinevere 2.
Sorry.
Da, 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 da. Okay. PDF. So, share tab here. All right. So this is Guinevere issue 2. You see that? Does that come through okay? Yeah, I don't need extra stuff.
Spoiling that he's an android.
Yeah.
Totally. Preston, I'll leave the studio as well. And that way
it's all right. Oh, okay. All right, sure. Okay.
Get Puppo to leave the studio.
Okay. All right. So we open up, and at the end of book 1, there was this horrible vision of the courthouse with tentacles and monsters and stuff. That was my kind of cliffhanger ending there.
So it's like any courthouse then.
It did, but exactly. Because when she comes out of the spirit realm, she's like, "Oh wow, I had to," because I was doing these like hellscape flashes, like from Devil's Advocate kind of stuff, And so, I had to take this thing off. It keeps showing me terrible things. I swear there was a pair of devils taking that boy into the courthouse. And then, she's like, oh, she sees that the spiritual reality is kind of giving a clue as to the physical reality in a new light. And so she decides, based on her interpretation of the spirit realm, that she needs to prevent injustice from happening to this boy in this courthouse, even though she doesn't even really know who he is. So, she goes in and we have, she's still kind of outside the scene, not really interacting. These two walk by. There's a dialogue caption of, basically a mafia don congratulating his attorney for getting him off. And then she's like, hold on. She has an idea. And then we have, pardon me, gentlemen, I need to speak with an attorney. And he's like, well, I'm an attorney. And then she's like, I was wondering if you might take a case pro bono. I assure you it's for a great cause.
What a great way to establish fucking mind control, by the way. It's just mashing their fucking tits together.
Exactly. It is the biggest. Men understand that is mind control. Yes. We know that. Yeah. And then
everyone psychologically understands mind control when looking, like even mind control of the reader to some extent, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the very next page is them walking out of the courthouse and the guy going, oh, wow, you got me off. See? So,
it worked.
It worked. See, that's how quick the scene can move.
She's using the power of her tits for good.
Exactly. Yes. Those are very powerful things. You gotta use them only for good.
And also, it shows that it's not exactly big action, but it's moving the plot along and establishing character, establishing the universe, and all those things.
Exactly. So
in one splash page, even
in one splash page that that people want to buy at cons and stuff. So that's, I think, kind of the goal. Let's see. And I saw an anime that had people getting off. Oh yeah. Wait. Which anime are you guys talking about? I saw an anime that had.
An anime that had
a courthouse like that. Okay.
Isn't that what most courthouses try to look like?
Yeah, I don't. Apparently,
the hallways were really wide.
Yeah, that is
nice spacious hallway.
Yeah, that was New York Criminal Courthouse. I had to do a Google search because initially the penciler came back with they just didn't look like court hallways. Like, I've been in a number of court hallways, and really that's where the drama of the shit happens. More drama probably happens in court hallways than courtrooms, because the court hallways are where the attorneys are talking with the clients and the attorneys are conferring with each other, and they're at different ends of the hallways walking back and forth. Like, okay, what your client considered. The fucking shit happens in the hallways. You reach the deal in the hallway, and then you walk into the room and go, Your Honor, here's what's happening.
Which is they show quite often in Better Call Saul, which it portrays it greatly in that delightful show.
Yeah. Ooh, being an attorney, that is scary stuff. Mm-hmm. But all right, so
it's so scary. It's like you'd almost want to relate to a con artist who became a lawyer.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to show you, since there wasn't a second story today, I'm going to show you.
I have one, didn't I? Yeah, I posted mine.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I didn't even think you were going to be here tonight. You were telling me.
Yeah, I was planning to be here, but I was I got to sleep at noon.
Okay.
And woke up, just about the time the show is starting. But I knew it was it's almost 9. I better get up.
Poor Jeremy Renner. We will never get to his story. Let's see.
Jeremy Renner?
Jeremy Renner?
Is he bringing his app back?
All right, Orange.
I liked him in that episode of House.
All right, let's see. I'm pulling them up.
These are just scripts only. It just says Orange Man Comic.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
This one's nice and short too. It's not even 10 pages long.
Yeah.
My Discord's messing up. I can't pull it out of the Discord.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I was going to say, yeah, how do I...
Hey.
Oh.
Hello.
That was slick. Hold on, I'll be right back. I just spilled coffee all over my computer.
Oh, no.
The worst place to spill coffee.
Yeah. All right. So we got. All right. Well, we always need a narrator.
Yeah,
Who in this?
narrator. And then most of this is captions, but there's a couple guys who will talk. Like there's Orange Man, and then Orange Man's friend I think has one line, and then there's Prune Man who also has one line.
Okay. So for the most part, we're just going to listen to a narrator.
Mostly, yeah. Narrator and captions can be the same. Narrator.
Okay.
I guess I could do the voices.
No. Let's. Okay, you do the voices, Vicky. I want you to be narrator because I love listening to your voice.
All right.
And then Mecca can do captions.
This is the Orange Man autopsy of a comic book movie sales bump.
Yes.
All right. To make sure I have the right thing up here.
China.
Okay, so I was doing narrator.
Yeah.
Yes, you are doing narrator.
All right. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Page 1, panel 1. Then title panel along the top of the page with the above title and credits, along with this is based on a post I made on 8chan CO on whoops, it just disappeared.
Oh, no.
I just had a window open up. Like I said, I just spilled coffee on my computer. So give me a second here.
Windows are going to be popping up and down.
By the way,
I hit a couple of keys.
Just so you see how popular you are. Good call.
Oh.
Vicky's versus voice is held. There you go.
Oh, thank you all. So on March 5th, 2015, ran Disha. Panel 2. The panel layout should probably be a plain box panels that are the same size and dimensions, at least for the first page. Overtly dot matrix faded coloring where the dots are bigger than usual. Old-fashioned comic art like the kind of Roy Lichtenstein thing. Clunky, awkward, stiff figures. An average balding guy sitting at an office desk slamming away on a typewriter.
Half-brain dead, retarded hack who couldn't make it as a writer in any other medium comes up with Orange Man, a superhero who has the power of oranges. Kids buy it at the store for a dime.
Panel 3. The guy holding up a check as he looks at it, beaming.
Wow, $500.
The company practically steals the rights to the Orange Man character by fooling the creator into thinking the purchase is just his paycheck. Only after buying the rights does the company start promoting and merchandising the character, now that they don't owe the creator any royalties.
Page 4, same as previous panel, but it's a guy sitting in a sofa chair at home, just slumped forward and haggard, drunk, out of a job, bald.
Sales drop as the years pass. The comic disappears. Makes a comeback during the spectacular boom as the company hires a new artist.
Speculator boom.
Speculator boom as the company hires a new writer and artist to revive the character.
Panel 5, identical to previous panel, except the writer is even older, more haggard and scraggly, gray and bald.
Disappears again when the speculator bubble pops. Company sells movie rights to Orange Man.
Panel 6, same as previous, but the comic writer is now a withered skeleton.
Multiple plans for a boring Orange Man movie are written, discarded, rewritten, rediscarded, as directors and actors are announced and canceled repeatedly. The original creator continues to never receive a single royalty check, but is promised a thank you in the credits.
Page 2, panel 1. Nice, bright, shiny shaded coloring. The panel should be large and go across the page like a big theater widescreen as we see in some movies. Oh gosh, every time. There, it just disappeared again. Sorry.
Well, we can take this time to field a question. Is the protagonist Liam Gray?
He already has too much charisma for that.
Yeah, no. Liam Gray is our protagonist. No, this person was at least partially successful at some point.
Okay.
They work for an actual comic company.
He has yet to uppercut his mom.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, instead of just sitting at home, getting older and more withered and haggard, he could be live streaming, but this is clearly supposed to be taking place like before the 90s or during the 90s. So I guess he can't be live streaming to his YouTube channel.
He would be in the punk rock scene by then.
Oh, yeah.
A handsome cinematic leading man is here as Orange Man, as he curiously eyes a helmet made of an orange rind as he holds it in his hands, dressed in a suit also made of large orange rinds. Someone in the background points and laughs at Orange Man.
Person with actual talent finally writes a legitimately funny, interesting Orange Man script. Movie is made for a moderate budget. It's pretty entertaining with an actual sense of adventure and fun. Written and directed by people who made legitimately good and somewhat subversive movies in the past.
John Favreau, in other words.
Panel 2, another colorful widescreen type of panel. Orange Man out of costume, the orange rind helmet sitting on the table in front of him as he sits in his workshop looking embarrassed. His friend off to the side looking at a smartphone.
The name Orange Man is only said twice in the entire movie, both times sarcastically. The rest of the time, he's just called by his real name. Sneaky hints are thrown into the movie that seem to be making fun of how the comic company cheated the original creator.
Hey, Rick, the news is calling you Orange Man. Oh, God, I should sue.
Panel 3, same widescreen panel as previously. Orange Man out of costume again, looking bloodied and battered, reaching down from above to a crevice where his Orange Man helmet had fallen.
The movie doesn't bother staying true to the dumb original source material, except to reuse the names and a few general ideas, refining decades of sloppy train wreck continuity into 90 minutes of entertaining action flick with an interesting and relatable main character.
Panel 4, female hero getting punched in the mouth by a casually smug villain in what looks more like a comedic scene than some sort of horrific drama.
Female character gets punched in the mouth in the movie. Audience's intelligence isn't insulted by the story.
No.
The movie makes money back plus profit.
Page 3, panel 1. Panel layout and sizes can vary now. Young plucky black kid like the one in the whammy burger is falling down, cheering in his seat as he watches the movie in the theater next to his mom and dad.
Kid enjoys Orange Man movie.
I want to read the comic.
Panel 2, interior of a comic book store as the dad buys his kid the latest issue of Orange Man. The dad paying the cashier, and the kid is already reading through the book, looking more like he's studying the book than enjoying it.
The Orange Man comic is the same low-grade, fanfic tier, unreadable, cheese dick, stupid, retarded shit that all superhero comics are.
Panel 3, the comic book itself, modern but plain faded coloring and stiff, weird anatomy and composition. As Orange Man fires an orange from his wrist rocket orange shooters at the bad guy. The bad guy, taking a selfie of himself, gets hit with an orange.
Bet that got you right in the feels.
Panel 4, interior, another panel from the Orange Man comic where Orange Man sits at home in full costume, moping, as he looks at a photo of his daughter from many years ago. Orange Man speaks out loud to the photo.
My daughter who died 20 years ago. I still miss you every day. If only I could have stopped my arch nemesis from throwing you into that meat grinder full of rabid dogs.
See issue 141 from 1992, which you can't actually buy in stores anyway, so never mind. Editor.
Panel 5, exterior, within the Orange Man comic, as Prune Man spies on Orange Man's moping through a window. Prune Man has a stupid full-body costume that's just a giant prune.
Ha ha ha, Orange Man is hopeless to stop me from undermining President Obama's new healthcare plan. Soon I will be elected president in his place, and I will force everyone to include prunes in their diet or else be withered to buy my new Wither Ray.
Page 4, panel 1, still within the Orange Man comic. Exterior as a pro-Prune Man rally is being held, with people holding signs saying things like, God hates citrus, and Obama must be withered, and tea bags against orange tea. Panel 2, last panel within the Orange Man comic. The female hero character who got punched in the movie is punching the guy who punched her in the movie.
I bet that rustled your Jimmy.
Panel 3. A slightly larger gutter between the previous panels and this one. Interior as the kid is in his room reading the comic, his face sagging as he looks haggard just from trying to read the book, realizing how much worse it is.
All new readers drop the comic after one issue like a fucking grenade. Sticks to video games and movies from then on. The bump in sales allows the comic itself to limp along for a few years.
Panel 4, interior. Corpulent nerd who is bald with more hair on his neck than on his head, arguing with someone else behind a counter as if at a comic shop.
By that point, it's mostly bought by dumb nerds with no taste who are only buying it for collector values. They spend all day arguing on Cuck-chan about how the movie ruined the Orange Man continuity.
Yeah, of course, Orange Man could beat up Superman. Idiot. And then, sir, this is Wendy's.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
Yeah.
The end. Okay. Four pages.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Yeah,
That
this
was
was
funny.
basically my first submission, my first idea for my first submission to the Comicsgate trademark. What I wanted to really present this comic for was if this were made into a full 4-page comic, would this get published in Comicsgate Presents trademark?
Sure. No problem. I mean, we'd have to, I think, make it an anthology with some other stories because 4 is not enough to.
Yeah, I have a handful of other things, but I wanted to make sure it was an even amount of pages, and then I also didn't. I wanted to make sure it wasn't too long though, so it could be like sort of squeezed in between other people's comics or other people's submissions or something like that. Theoretically, anyways.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Vicky, see, you should read Bad News because no one will mind. There you go.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it should be. Oh, I got, dude. Check this out. I got a fucking haircut today. That's.
Ooh, you really needed one.
I did.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Wow. I filmed. I filmed this week's episode. Before the haircut, so you'll get to see one last video of Shaggy Preston.
It's a Shaggy Preston story.
Yeah, you seem to love funny meta stuff, and you know what? It's not stream of consciousness, so that's good. A lot of times, funny meta stuff, I think, kind of reverts down into like stream of consciousness randomness.
It was kind of stream of consciousness before. Like, I actually did write this post in 2015, and you can kind of tell. Right. And you're supposed to, in a way, kind of tell. In a way, it's aged better because the stuff that's out of date intentionally is so much more out of date, and yet you hear a lot of comic book, like your typical comic book person who's just repeating the same mistakes as comic books. They do stuff like this in much the same way.
Right.
Like the outdated meme references and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. You could say that some people are naming their comics after outdated meme references.
There you go.
Wrecked Planet, for example. Yeah. But the original post was sort of it was a green text, so it was just stream of consciousness. And then when I'm like, okay, how do I either condense this or inflate this to 4 pages? I also revised it so it was telling more of a story, which was really
hold up. We gotta close this actor deal because everybody loves your voice acting. And if you have it, you need to set up a strike. You're going to the big time, girl.
For Vicky.
You need to look at not hiring a manager. I recommend not doing that. Anyway. Cool. But well, I guess I'm intuitive, or I've just read a lot of kind of witty stream of consciousness stuff. Because the stream of consciousness, it's charming for a little bit, but not much beyond that.
Yeah, that's another thing is that I felt like it was another good reason to keep this to 4 pages because it could really wear out its welcome even if it went to 5 pages. And I wanted kind of I wanted the sudden ending. I wanted the sort of jumping from point to point, sort of like a green text post made into a comic.
Right. No, I like it. I think you've made some positive choices. That
was fun.
And anyone else Anyone else got anything?
It was incredibly fun.
Yeah.
That is good. Yeah. That's sort of the ultimate goal, isn't it, of all of this, of the whole show.
It should be
fun. Yeah. Cyber Frog 3, the big oof, coming in 2020. That's what Horatic.
Yeah.
How is that name pronounced? Horatius Cockneys?
Yeah.
Like that?
Man, those guys are so like I've already recorded the episode, as I mentioned. I got a new computer. Did I mention that before?
Oh, that makes two of us now. We both have new computers.
Used to be my old computer would render one of those long episodes, and it would take like 7 hours because I'm doing it in HD and all that crap. And those big files. My new computer did it in under an hour. Just boom, done. I'm like, yes,
sweet,
go sweet.
Which one was it? The like the PC, the Linux, the Mac.
I have what is really cool if it actually works. I have a jalopy. So this is an assembled bunch of parts.
Frankenstein.
It's a Frankenstein that dual boots both Windows and the Macintosh operating system.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
You got the super bizarre freaky rig.
I got the super bizarre freaky thing. And Windows is very rugged on this. Windows, I'm used to being kind of finicky, but Windows on this machine is very rugged. It's just like, what can I do for you, Matt? But the Mac, man, like anything, because it's not native to that platform. It's kind of held together with a little bit of Scotch tape and baling wire. And like if you install a driver accidentally and it changes something in the BIOS, like the OS is just gone, boom, done. So you gotta it's a little finicky in that regard, but I had it working today, and that's neat. And I just opened up Final Cut, and it's got this like, I don't know how many stupid cores on. I think it has like 9 cores or some shit on the new Intel chip that goes 3.9 gigahertz with whatever, and it's got this super cool video card that has 2 different monitor outputs, but I didn't know that that's not supported in the Mac. That's only supported in the Windows part. So if you left both monitors plugged in and booted up your Mac, guess what? You just nuked it. That was fun. The Windows still worked fine, by the way. That's what I was talking about. But I have this new Frankensteinian computer I'm messing around with, and it's a lot of fun so far.
Pretty much every modern video card has the dual monitor setup too, which is neat. Right. In fact, they sometimes come with like 3 or 4 monitor plugins. It's like, well, I don't know what this is for anymore.
Yeah.
Cool.
I figured out what my problem was when I downloaded the script from the Discord. Now wait,
hold up. Said he's happy we've got the thing that shall not be named. I don't even know what that is, but I'm glad he's happy.
Because it's not named. I assume it means the trademark to come.
The trademark.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad they got it. Of course you are, Ethan. Of course you are.
He's always finding some new contradictory way to cope.
I wanted you to have it the whole time. Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was that proud of it, you figured he would have threw it on Blood Honey.
Exactly. Yeah.
He could have. Why didn't he? It's kind of mysterious.
The only dude that did was Miller on the Comicsgate Assault cover or whatever. Or Alliance or something.
Yeah.
Comicsgate Alliance. Really? Is it?
That
great alliance you got there.
That did not age well.
No, it did not.
Aged badly. It aged like milk.
Oh, yeah. Oh. So,
he always that's one thing I always noticed, by the way, long time ago. In fact, I made comics about it, is that people, whenever somebody like gets trolled, their first defense usually is, I don't even care.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. That's how you know somebody's bothered. They go, duh, I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, wait. No, he said he's glad we got the... Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, he is happy. And there were a couple of services I was thinking, because I noticed that people in Ethan's orbit, whenever Ethan he does something that you obviously can't defend by just going, that was a joke, like he did in regards to the Tess Fowler thing. Well, then it's, they deserved it. And I thought, like there needs to be a service or something that you could just walk the halls and talk to dying people and say horrible things to them because the service just printed out every horrible thing they'd ever done in their life, and you could just go, "Well, you deserve this." Blah. Anyway, but yes,
finally, that's a good business idea for Ethan.
Yeah,
the first good business idea he would even be remotely related to.
Yeah. Oh, this is all right. This is a little edgy. That's a little edgy. That's edgy right there. But
people with the virus end up losing a lot of weight. I think if you're gay, you'd probably lose a lot of weight because no one wants to eat after you've had a dick in your mouth all day.
In tomorrow's episode, I played the clips where Ro is asking Rizzy if he passed the recording on to crypto to forward to state's attorney in the Pan trial, because that could potentially bring him up on like witness tampering charges.
Oh no, that would be a shame.
That was the gayest conversation about witness tampering I've ever heard. Not that I've heard a lot of conversations about witness tampering, but it's half gay and half legal. I'm like, just like thinking, like I've never seen like one of these high suspense courtroom dramas, like or no, really more espionage. Did you give him the tape, the thing you recorded? Did you pass it on the thing? What recording is that? The one where we were talking about blowing each other. That conversation. I mean, I've just never seen that in like James Bond or anything where the thing recording is somehow amazingly homoerotic, but it's
so it's like a gay porn version of Better Call Saul.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Did you see Gigantic Android's comment here?
Wait, where is it? Okay.
I
did not. Oh my God! Somebody got to link me to that.
A supermodel. Even when Anthony Cumia was dating models, he was like, "She's in underwear. I date underwear models. Who you fuck, asshole? You don't fuck nobody. You're a fucking loser." Just
Yeah, he was a global playboy with multiple properties and in a punk band because punk makes you lots of money.
He beat up the supermodels too, or were they too young? They're too young for him to punch.
I heard about his uppercut.
Yeah, well, you see, Rizzy, once you go, he was war campaign curious, and now now he's kind of trying it. He's
wonderfully gay way to put it too. It's fitting, of course.
And when you're curious, you kind of attack things that kind of provoke you in certain ways. So he was going through his kind of curious denial phase. Now he's exploring his war campaigness, and to each their own.
Is that next episode? Is it going to be like 3 hours or something?
54 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I figured it was going to be up there.
Yeah.
He entered the water closet.
Yeah, 54 minutes, and I open it up by saying, by the way, the big story of the week I'm not going to talk about because I have to break that off into its own video.
I was going to say, if you're going to include that, that's going to be like a whole other hour on it.
No, that's I'm like, holy shit, it's got to be a whole other thing to talk about Peter Simeti and Tug and all that. Oh my God. So
the Kiwi Farms thread is really interesting on that one.
Is it?
Oh, is that the Tug thread?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hours worth of reading right there.
Delightful. Yeah, I mean it can.
Well, it is 200 and over 250 pages.
Has it been getting good lately? I haven't checked in. But.
The whole thing is gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the DA Talks guy, he's been looking into the stuff and ideally to do more videos because I'd like to see him do some videos about all this too. Although I have to say, Preston, I don't even know how you manage to. Is somebody like making the clips for you or something?
I don't know. I do all that shit myself.
Are people at least time stamping the streams for you though? Or something?
And that's like the great thing is.
Because you need everyone doing videos about this would need that.
Right. Is, I'll just be going on through my day and I'll go to Kiwi, or people are getting more media savvy. Like I'll go to Kiwi Farms and there will be a timestamp. Ethan celebrates, cancer diagnosis. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I click on it, it's timestamped. It's right there. I'm like,
that's good.
Capture. Okay. And I'm like, hold on, let me capture this real quick.
I get sent links too.
Yeah.
Like the Stanley thing. Right. I got sent that one by somebody. I didn't, because I don't watch all of Liam. I might,
I mean, who can?
Here or there.
I imagine whoever does is only doing it for screen capping or time stamping, just the embarrassing shit or self-incriminating things.
Where did Liam end up? Who's hosting him now?
He turned me down.
Oh.
But wait, where's he living? He's not living with his mom, I guess.
I'm sure there's plenty of people wanting to jump on his clout chasing thing he's doing and offered to host him.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
He's on they're doing the streams on Oz's channel now.
Now did you hold on? I'm gonna pull up, since we've kind of transitioned from writer stuff to Ethan stuff. I'm gonna pull up a video.
We should have a dedicated stream to that kind of thing, Preston.
We sure should.
We could call it Comicsgate TM Live.
Yeah,
yes.
that's certainly a good idea.
I mean, you got the trademark. You might as well be.
Might as well throw it around. All right, so there's Micah Curtis for Lost Cause, and boy, that one came out of nowhere. All right,
what happened? I don't keep up with most of it.
Oh, hold on. I will go ahead and play this
because I mean, as self-incriminating and primo top tier cringe and lolcow and all that stuff. Ultimately, to me, I don't keep up with it because it's just like, in a year, no one will ever remember any of this happened, and it will be the big strokes that's important.
Okay,
so it's still entertaining, I guess.
Can you see this?
I can see the Twitter feed.
Yeah, Twitter feed.
Try to help one person, and it's like, I can't help you.
All right, so hold on.
I mean,
is that can everyone hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that. It sounds like.
All right, cool.
Who are these elderly people? Holy shit! It's like two 80-year-old guys and a guy who looks like he's about 40. Wait, is the audio going still? Now I don't hear it.
Yeah, no, I don't
All right,
hear
hold on. Wait, I forgot to check the box. So hold on just a minute. Let me check the box. But yeah, you'll see it. It comes out of nowhere, and Ethan Van Sciver is just like, yeah, that's how I feel about Micah Curtis.
Oh yeah, just just fully admitting that he's using him for plausible
like,
as he has for other people.
That guy is to be a human shield. I'm like,
yeah.
What?
But it's like, also it's strange that he admits that out loud, because we've seen him do that with many other people over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Ethan doesn't miss a chance to like name someone when any opportunity comes up for it.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to try this again. Let's see if you can hear it this time.
And I feel like a medic.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
Well, I mean, talking to my friends in the mainstream comic book biz is very. It's the beginning of Saving from Private Ryan. You know, where they get on that beach and they're running towards the Nazis.
Did this guy have a lobotomy or something?
And I feel like a medic, and it's like I can't help everybody. It's like I try to help one person, and it's like I can't help you. Your guts are all over the place. I have to go to this guy.
Being in Comicsgate is like being a medic in Normandy, just trying to help other indie creators, but a lot of them are just too far gone, and have to.
Man, do you remember the Comics Wars, man?
Yeah,
they're actually the little Japanese soldier that was still in a cave on an island years after World War II
in the 60s. Yeah.
And then watch this, out of nowhere, just Ethan Van Sciver fucking climbs the top ropes and just.
There's only some people that I can help.
Himself somehow.
I can't spend my entire life trying to change one person's
That's
mind.
what I'm like with. That's how I am with Micah Curtis. I'm like, I want to help you, but I can't help you. All over
if I was Micah, I would not be pleased by this. I would not be pleased.
What did he do to fall out of favor?
I don't know.
Existed? I don't
know.
That's what all these people see. That's the thing. That's what all these other people you're seeing on the screen are for. to Ethan is a future person to use as a meat shield too. And none of these guys are smart enough to know that, even though they've seen it happen to every other person who's been on with him.
So yeah, let me finish this out.
You are a terminal case. Maybe what I could do is use you as the human scarecrow.
Yeah.
Maybe I could use you. Maybe I could use you as a human shield. So that as I'm approaching the nest of menacing Nazis with machine guns or SJWs, I hold your body up. The picture of holding Micah's sleeveless body up.
Yeah,
and they're Mike is like, but you're okay.
You're fine. Let him suffer those slings.
Theater of the mind.
And there's some people who I feel like when it comes
awkward
to
pause coming up.
That was their purpose. Their entire purpose, all along, was just to be used as a human shield.
I love Eric Weathers'
to be cut to ribbons.
Eric Weathers is loving it, isn't
he? Yeah. You can see him bodily recoiling as he's saying this. Like, whoa, wait a second. What are you talking about? Just look at that fucking face. He's like, I don't think I like this anymore.
Adam Post is loving it. Look at Adam. He's so happy.
Adam Post looks like a retarded child being jangled keys in front of him. You can tell how stupid he is just by his face. He looks like he's about to start drooling.
Yeah, and like Adam Post is about to step into this like awkward pause. Watch this. This is great.
For the greater good.
Like a pair of sleeves.
It's for the greater good that Micah was.
Micah must live so we can die. Micah must die so we can live. Which of course we love Micah Curtis though.
That Freudian slip, though.
That's just me, I guess.
I love Micah, and then everyone's
just stopped and stared.
Yeah, Ethan's face is like, wait, hold on a second, don't say that. He's fucking rape staring through the camera at him.
Yikes.
Adam Post is more like the guy that approaches you at the mall and tells you he can get you into modeling. That's what he reminds me of.
Let's see.
He's immediately going to tell you the topless rates is like, hey, it's 500 for a nude shot, it's 250 if you're topless.
I have my own photographer.
That's how. I have my own camera, so I could do this. Except, wait, that's how Ethan talks. That's the gay, creepy Ethan voice.
This girl freaked me out, dude. Do you want to actually hear the audio on this Pennywise cosplayer?
She looks creepy.
Yeah, she's pretty she's creepy and hot. It's my favorite. Favorite combination.
Yeah, it's got all the sound editing too.
Is that Vicky?
You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll
Anyway, that was pretty cool. So yeah, so good job there, lady cosplayer. So,
that would be a good idea for another weekly stream. Different weekly stream show is watching. I guess not Comicsgate, but the comics grifters.
Exactly.
Clips and just to see how whoever doesn't cringe wins.
Ooh. I forgot what clip it was I'm seeking out.
Keeping track of them it's so much of this is part of why I don't even bother too, because it's like I can't keep track of all this crap.
Well, I found that Twitter is like amazingly helpful.
Yeah, it's nice if you can force Twitter to stay chronologically in order.
So there's the all right. So all right.
So many videos of this mother beater. Uppercut mom.
Where's the supermodel thing?
And there's just a complete and total irony of, Liam who hit his mom and Pan who, the whole crypto thing, both doing a stream pretending they're innocent little angels.
Yeah, it's like criminal and then other criminal. And it's like, we're going to talk about how we're going to save comics. And it's like, can you even save yourself from jail?
Exactly. That's more difficult to do from prison.
But like permanently destroying their reputations, all of them, and then by association, all of them also destroying their friends' reputations. Anyone who's just has any connection, if I was even remotely related to any of these people, I would be cutting them off fucking months ago.
Exactly.
Just because it's like, okay, I don't want to be seen even with any affiliation with like Yellow Flash because the fact that he's friends with Tug or has ever been, the fact that any of them have ever been friends with any of them is just like, yeah, I don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my reputation. I don't need like the embarrassment of being involved with actual criminals, guys who are beating up their mothers, guys who are committing criminal fraud and then threatening to sue people who talk about it. That's not going to reflect in the future. People are going to be like, oh, all these people were just complete scam artists. And, that's something I would never want to have any affiliation with. That's why I think it's cool to show up around here. These delightful streams are, first of all, they're about the writing. They're about comics writing. And second of all, they're about not wanting to commit fraud in real life or beat your mother up or, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I think that's a good approach.
I wonder if there's like one good person there, and then once all these guys go to jail, he's like, what the hell have I been doing with my whole life hanging out with these people?
You know what I think it's going to be like is when Joe Exotic went to jail and who was that other guy who had that zoo where he was riding the elephants and stuff, and he was white knighting for Joe Exotic the whole time. He was like, oh, Joe Exotic, he's just a crazy character, he's really fun though. People should be looking into Carol Baskin, that kind of stuff. And then Joe Exotic is like, oh yeah, I'm going to turn states against this guy. And it's like, wow, so much for your friendship, loser.
Yeah.
And that was the guy who had like the sort of the cult also, it's coincidentally enough, he had a cult where the hot chicks, he would dress them up in classy leopard print, that kind of thing.
I don't think.
And then he would be banging all of them.
I don't think Ethan is as colorful as Joe Exotic.
No. I would rather.
He wants
have
to be,
Joe
though.
Exotic, yes. I would rather have Joe Exotic completely free than Ethan Van Sciver free out of prison. Either. I mean, because that's where it might be going for Ethan, but it's definitely where it's going for his friends.
Well, Pan, the whole stalking
exactly.
incident with Preston here.
Yeah. Oh wait, I know which clip I want to find. I want to find the clip where Zach is both in Comicsgate and not in Comicsgate.
There's a new one?
No, the one I posted like a couple of weeks ago.
But I mean, there's always gonna be so many. Yeah, he did another stream recently with Ethan, didn't he? We're
streaming with him right now.
There you go. Yeah.
So Ethan's got a gun to his head.
No, they're just nervous that Zach's not going to hit 6 figures on Jawbreakers 3, and I think he will, but not by much.
I'm sure he'll hit 6 figures. I'm sure he'll get
well, but it seems like they're slowing down a bit, as I guess.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah.
You know what though? Probably at the end, it'll get a giant out of nowhere influx of money.
If you are Comicsgate, you will back this book.
Yeah.
No, we won't. We're Comicsgate. No, we're not going to back his book.
I don't want to read your shitty G.I. Joe fan fiction.
The G.I. Joe fan fiction or the No Country for Old Men fan fiction. It doesn't even rise to the level of fan fiction. Fan fiction's almost too nice for it.
All right, we ready?
In any sort of
let's do this.
Okay. All right, here we go.
I know who Zach is, Comicsgate. The thing
so
with Zach.
We start off. Zach is Comicsgate.
No, he's not. But that's
the thing. The thing with Zach is
the ironic part of this discussion is I get to determine, and no, he's not.
His business model is going to be.
But also the idea that these low IQ nobodies would even act like they're any people to discuss things when they're completely clueless and out of the loop. 24/7, 365.
Yeah. 4 to 6 weeks. So he's not.
We're listening to people who don't know, basically.
Involved in Comicsgate per se. He's going to be using a lot.
But I love the justification. But he's not involved in Comicsgate per se. He's going to be using a lot of mainstream artists. He's not going to be in part of our live streams. He's not going to promote our projects. But he's Comicsgate.
He's not going to have Malin do art.
Yeah. Yeah, let's check this out.
That he's liked over the years. Creators who aren't getting work in the mainstream. He's going to be using creators that in the mainstream, but have to use pen names. He's going to be doing
Anyone
all
have an
that.
air horn to keep us awake?
No shit.
And he's going to do it as a fundraising campaigns.
These people are like charisma vacuums. Holy shit. Thank you. It's very helpful.
He's going to be doing it every 4 to 6 weeks. Hey, you hanging in there, Tony?
Yeah.
All right.
Go. So he's not going to be streaming. He's not going to be engaging in any sort of. I doubt that he'll be going on anyone's streams, and so he's not. It's not like a soft exit to Comicsgate, which is
it's not like a soft exit to Comicsgate.
Soft exit, as opposed to a hard,
as opposed to an Ethan exit from Comicsgate.
as opposed to
the exit Micah Curtis might discover pretty soon.
Or well, I guess technically all of them just got hit with the hard exit. That's as soon as you got the trademark, all of these guys got the hard exit.
Exactly.
What people are saying, but it's just like. He's not real. His business model has zero interest.
Oh, they're talking about the business model.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know these guys were fucking captains of industry over
here.
But
I love it. His business model has zero to do with Comicsgate. Let's check it out.
Comicsgate. That makes sense.
Engagement.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, he's Comicsgate, but his business model has zero to do with Comicsgate.
Yeah, it's Comicsgate, but it's not. But it is.
Yeah, and there's like another minute where he goes on to explain he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. He doesn't even really think about Comicsgate, but he's Comicsgate.
Just what a mess! What a mess!
Well, I downloaded Tony's script.
Cool.
So we're gonna.
Well, if we covered that at the beginning of the show.
Did we?
Yeah, it'll be over.
I'm sorry.
To an hour ago.
Hey, my old lady nap ran long. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I missed out a bunch of it too myself, though. I just woke up too.
It was very nice.
Anyway,
it's like 9 p.m. is too late for us or something.
Can we see that?
Or too early because I was still asleep.
Yeah. Somebody needs to timestamp me to the supermodel clip.
Yeah,
that exists.
That's what I gotta say. For anyone who wants Preston or any of us or even Kiwi Farms to notice the embarrassing shit going on with the comics grifters movement. Make sure you're timestamping. If you just right click on a YouTube video, it'll say copy link at URL or copy time at URL or whatever the hell. Just do that and just paste it in. Make sure that you're keeping track of the exact time. Now, if it's a live stream, you're going to have to go back to it afterwards after this is over. And I don't know how often these guys delete their streams afterward, but they do it a little too often, suspiciously often, like they got something to hide. They're streaming because they want the super chats, but then they want to delete the evidence of the embarrassing, incriminating things they just said.
Yeah, Tug deletes or privatizes all of his streams. Liam, as far as I can tell, hasn't deleted any. There was just one that got taken down. And Ethan has stopped, I think, deleting his streams, but he may be doing some weird one. He'll probably have one of those drunken midnight streams where he rants for 4 hours and then he'll delete it.
He'll do Daddy Can't Rape Us All for the 8th time or something.
Yeah.
But
but Tug definitely deletes all of them. So.
I think Tug imagines like he's Mr. Medicare and he's like, hey man, I don't even care about the views or anything. But he clearly, that's all he cares about is whoring for his YouTube channel and exploiting his family, exploiting children for YouTube clicks. Not very responsible parent.
Hold on, this particular Comicsgate Spurg is kind of funny on YouTube. Do you want to see this? These comments. All right. So here, let me share this tab.
Doug 10 Naple is in the chat.
Oh wow.
That's definitely not a sock puppet account. What is it with these people in sock puppet accounts, by the way? It's like you can't even,
He didn't
say
spell it
something
right.
under your own name at least. He didn't even spell it right. Yeah, that's the thing. You can spell it the normal way.
Yeah.
But you'll just get taken down. That's too bad.
Yeah, Doug. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, somebody should ban Doug 10 April.
I will.
Are there any ranchers? I don't even know if I have.
Yeah,
a
Vicky has one.
No, Vicky can do it.
Here we go.
While I sit around.
Yeah. So this video was on Mecha Random 42. And like I used to kind of be a fan of her content back in like 2000, like early 2019 kind of stuff. But before she got into the Ethan orbit on Fandom Menace and stuff, and boy, this shit just goes to hell after that. But he calls her Mecha Hater, and I said, yeah, Mecha Hater blocked me on Twitter. I never said anything crosswise to her. I want a refund on my super chats. Oh well, Press looks like he got over 1K subs, and yeah, I did. And then Tyler Press, what about the women you blocked on Twitter? Charlie's London, when she called your comic book for being historically inaccurate, you have a habit of making women hate you, especially explain your 2 divorces.
Is this your parents divorced you or something? that you get your money from?
Oh, Charlie's London. Everyone throw her a pity party. She's a super chatter, and that's why you should fund her comic book about Charlie Chaplin that no one wants.
Yeah,
is that going to be historically accurate at least? I hope so.
And I said, I'm unaware of Charlie's London and don't recall blocking her. And then I edited in because I went over on Twitter. I'm like, who the hell is Charlie? Like someone criticized white. I'm like, what is he blaming me for? So I checked. She has me blocked on Twitter. So okay.
Again, as as usual, Ethan's comics grifters have the truth completely mirror reversed.
Yeah. So she blocked me. So when I was trying. And my comic sticks fairly close to the events of Lydia's life, but it is not a biography. Therefore, changes of historical inaccuracy or charges rather of historical inaccuracy seem a bit strange. My first ex-wife and I are quite pleased that our daughter at how our daughter has turned out. She just finished writing a 350-page novel at the age of 18 and received a full ride scholarship for college. We get along fine.
Oh, she's a former Fulbright scholar. Are you a former Fulbright scholar?
And then somebody's like, Preston, what is wrong with these people? And to keep in mind, this is a chat that's happening over on like Mad Max Mandalorian. Like those guys are Fandom Menace, or Fandom Menace.
Yeah, people are wondering, like, what does this have to do? Is this related to the Fandom Menace or something? And it's like none of it has anything to do with anything. It certainly doesn't have anything to do with Comicsgate anymore because because they aren't Comicsgate. They took the hard exit. Right. By the way, I was wondering, would Tony S be okay bailing to get Zombie Nomicon back in because he wants back in?
Oh yeah, sure. I got something to add.
All right,
take care.
All right, see you.
Thanks for coming on again.
Oh, you're welcome.
And he's out of here. Get that piece of shit out of here.
Welcome back.
We're going to turn against Tony S.
Exactly.
He's our meat shield.
Farewell writer's stream and professional critique and hello front line of the war.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need any of that gay writer stream shit. But yeah, I guess this is the beginning of another new weekly segment that we that should be a separate video. But I mean, we're having so much fun.
Sure. I mean,
I told you we needed to do this.
Yeah, and
I do think it should be a separate stream, though. It doesn't have to go for 6 hours or some shit.
No. But
an hour or two when there's stuff to discuss for sure, because
next
there is
week
genuine stuff. There is genuine stuff to discuss, like wishing death on someone with cancer,
right?
The Fraudorama, Scandal Palooza, and the shameful dichotomy in Australian shitposting between extremely handsome people like me and weird fluorescent orange people like he who will not be known.
Exactly. So
the guy who beats up his own mom.
Yeah, I think it's funny though.
Hell of a right hook.
And ran away from doing a stream with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't in uppercut distance of you, Vicky.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want a woman in charge. That's his problem.
But
are you going to stream with them somewhere? Have they teed up a place for you to stream with them or not?
No, I offered my channel tomorrow at 9, and they turned me down.
Yeah, it's like, no, you'll come on our channel.
And Liam was like, well, why would I want to come on your why would I want to talk to Vicky? And I'm like, dude, Your co-host, obviously, you knew he was going to ask me. So you're asking
The
me.
Oz guy's interesting, isn't he? Because
even Ethan pretended to
he's
be
firmly
gracious.
vague and extremely loyal to both sides, and
that won't work out well for him.
Unsupportedly, ferociously on their side, kind of thing.
Hold
and
on.
He just turns on.
But Liam won't even unblock me on Twitter, so it's not like he's going to come on my channel.
Completely abandoned. I want to go over the writer's critique. Okay.
Yeah.
For Orange Man.
So,
but that's right. We didn't finish the critique of my comic.
The critique of well, no, your comic is good.
The end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we were going over the White Lily stuff.
Yeah, the White Lily critique here. But what I think is funny was this comment where just people who are like outside of the Ethan fan circle, because this is Mad Max's channel, and so these people are like, who the hell is this guy, and what on earth is he yelling about, and what is wrong with these people? These are British trolls. They are hypocrites as they bleat whine about not going for Jeremy's family and or Anna, yet are happy to do the same to others. Christ, these are evil cretins. And then Tyler comes back with, I don't believe you unless you can actually prove it. Shut it. I'm like,
he's asking someone to prove something in a YouTube comment.
Comments.
That's how you can tell somebody's unserious when they're like, "Oh yeah, prove." When somebody asks to prove something that is obviously true,
right?
That's when somebody's just not being serious.
Well, it's the Dark Diff Comics thing where, and he's admitted it now, like it was a big surprise anyway.
Yeah.
They've got no interest in any real dialogue or any real proof or anything else. They are basically concerned trolling, equivocating.
Right.
That's the worst thing, though, is when asking for proof should be a good thing, and they're turning it into something that's dishonest. And it's like,
but like
that should be the exact opposite.
Somebody, why do I need to give you proof? Google it.
Yeah.
I've said something. Google it. It took me 5 minutes. Google it yourself. Why do I have to keep showing you proof of something that you know damn well is true anyway? So why should I? You're not like he basically. What I like about the Cummings approach now is he just cuts through it. He just says, "You're not being genuine. I'm not going to waste time. You can look it up yourself. You're effectively saying I'm lying. So if you can prove I'm lying, do that. Otherwise, just get out of my way."
Yeah, prove me wrong.
While we've been on, by the way, Hutz dropped a video about Captain Cummings confirms Richard C. Meyer had multiple publishers for Jawbreakers. So what he put in, there were 5 apparently. What he put in his filing to get his case up, not as accurate as one might wish for.
Right.
And that's not going to be good when you're suing somebody is having a lie in there. Also, Drunken Deity in the chat
it's all
says
on the balance of probabilities.
Yeah. Drunken Deity in the chat says they ask for proof to waste your time, which is a very good point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then too, even so, I'm pretty sure you couldn't have done. You could have done basic research that the titular White Lily didn't know the English language.
Oh shit! It's fucking. You wrote it in English.
I wrote it in English.
Shit. How dare you?
I'm like, I wrote White Lily in English. I'm sorry. You're right. The original character did not know English. You got me. And then,
but what makes them waste their own life championing a carnival freak?
I don't know.
Against somebody else who basically doesn't care.
Yeah.
They also weren't drawn. The people in White Lily, they weren't two-dimensional on paper. You say like up front, this is like a fictionalized account of the real life people.
Yeah,
you completely say that out in the open
anymore, though. They've got their real low-level nut jobs. They've got their carnival freak hardcore leadership, but they don't seem to have the rank and file anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to be the same intensity or number of people involved. It's definitely pared back. And it's just amusing with that Stan Lee fakery that Liam's trying to build up a head of steam, and then just trips down 2 flights of stairs while carrying a tray of glasses, kind of stuff, and just ends so badly.
And 10 banana cream pies.
There's too many of them that want to fund their books now.
Yeah,
but he made $75,000 for his, didn't he?
Who?
Liam.
I think he's at 50.
I mean,
that Xeno type thing.
Yeah, there was American versus Australia.
That's going to be a real money toilet. Just flush of money right down the drain.
Right. Right.
Right.
I get you.
Are there any other funny clips we can laugh at?
Oh, sure.
There's an absolute ton of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's way too many. The question is, which one? Just one more.
Oz arguing with Liam was good. that went from stream to Twitter back to comments. That was good. Oh, and you've got a fake Preston Poulter in the chat. You probably want
You should definitely ban him.
Convert him to his component atoms.
Yeah, exactly. You should definitely ban that person.
They're so bitter. They're weird. So weirdly bitter. By the way,
I know. Good God, guys, can't we ever have any fun? And look, it's not that I don't want people to come comment, but you can't impersonate other people.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. It's pretty obvious. Just come out with. You don't have to impersonate. You don't have to take someone else's name. Just make up a name.
Right.
That's what I did. The name I'm using is just a name I made up. It's not too hard. You could just you don't even have to make up a name. Just slam the keyboard with random letters or something. At least do that.
Yeah.
I don't even look like American.
So Cummings has put in the FOIA request for the Semetti fake swatting as well.
Mm-hmm.
And,
that is good.
JDA turned that into a mess by trying to attention whore and interfere in the investigation. But the sensible part of that was already done by Cummings before he jumped onto the grenade. So that's good. And then in the meantime, Hutt broke the Meyer story, and he's got a Brettweiser or Theftweiser, as we now call them, story to break as well. So,
Theftweiser.
So they've got a few fronts.
Theftweiser is definitely easier to spell.
That's right. Somebody, I think it was either on Kiwi or on Twitter, obviously furious with them having back Red Rooster, started calling them Theftwisers as a hashtag.
Yeah, there's. I mean,
it's just perfect.
It's wonderful to see. It's really the ultimate test of the failure of their campaigns. Is just look at the comments on their Indiegogo. All the people saying, "Hey, fucking, why you leaving? Why your comics so late? I want a refund. I really believed in you." That kind of shit.
A lot of negative comments as spam.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the ones that they couldn't mark as spam for some reason.
Yeah.
If they hadn't screened them, I don't know how many there'd be. A lot. So,
but I mean, some of them are from backers.
Walmart's. Oh yeah. But backers have contacted Walmart and just got shrugged off. Mm-hmm. So it's actually made people even more angry.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's the thing. Is like, why would Walmart even pay attention to customers? Because if former Comicsgate, the Ethan's dour, joyless comics grifters who can't laugh or enjoy themselves unless it's a weird fake laugh, forced laugh. But
yeah,
well,
Victor,
exactly.
I gotta say yes, and people in general should act towards what they feel is their financial best interest. But when it comes to people in Ethan's crowd, like those guys who are sitting there on the stream with Ethan while he's, attacking Tess Fowler's cancer situation, I gotta think that's probably not good for their long-term career health.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's not good for a reputation to be like. Unless if I was on there, I'd be like, I don't know who Tess Fowler is, and I don't, I don't have any ill will towards her. Maybe I don't like her politics or her opinions, but that doesn't mean I want her to get cancer.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's not even wishing it on them.
Yeah.
She's gloating about how she had it.
Yeah, she has the cancer. So you have to have enough self-respect to stop. Like if you wanted to do that woman down, I don't like her at all in any way. I've said this on Twitter twice now. I really don't like her at all. She's bad for comics. She's not as talented as she thinks she is, but then who is? And all of that stuff, right?
It's weirdly common in comics.
She's an ideological enemy. I still draw the line before the point where I'm laughing at her having a potentially fatal medical condition, even if it's not commonly fatal anymore. That's no day at the fucking beach that she's facing. And karma blowback from gloating like that, I've never known it not to happen. I've never known it
especially
not
in
to
public.
I guess we should go ahead and play the clip in question.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Pull that up.
What was Vicky saying though?
Yeah, the thing is breast cancer in women her age is really, really aggressive. And if she's undergoing chemotherapy and radiation, there's a good chance it's already stage 2, at least stage 2. And so it's spread to her lymph nodes already. And and the chances of beating that is, it's...
They basically have to beat your body in order to beat the cancer at that point.
Yeah, so...
Which is fucked up. And the thing is, if you said any of this on Ethan's stream with Ethan, then Ethan would make you an enemy for life.
4 likes on this, and I would hit like on this.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Now, Zach, I don't know if you saw this, but just enjoy.
Hey, Zach, enjoy this.
Wait, so Zach is joining in on the gloating. Who put a gun to his head, or did nobody? Did Zach do this of his own volition?
I'm pretty sure, Zach types in. He's just good. He's in the chat, and I'm pretty sure he typed in the comments, "Ethan, you're going a little too far. Ease up." I'm pretty sure he said that.
Did he actually say that, or is it just
when he realized it was a bad look?
Wait, you know what? No, he didn't. He didn't say that.
Oh, he didn't say that.
Say
oh
that.
no! He, in fact, he seems to be saying the exact opposite. He seems to be joining in on being like,
I posted all of this on
she has
Twitter to
cancer.
make sure people saw it because it was something I didn't want people to miss about the nice guy of War Campaign, Maya.
So that's
and Richard was always War Campaign before even War Campaign. So
yep.
Are we ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Entire purpose. And by the way, oh my God, dude, this is a flattering painting of her, and it's terrifying. Her entire purpose is just to make people upset, to cause people distress, to spread rumors about people, to cause people trouble. Look at the 4 likes on this. Actually, I would hit like on this. Financially, this could do.
You want to
the only thing? This is the only thing that excites Ethan.
I was. Okay, my bad.
Which is what?
This is the only thing that excites Ethan is being like, oh, look at this lady that we don't like. She has cancer, and all of a sudden he's just pumped. You can see his elderly face is alight with joy.
All right, here we go.
Let me share this, and thank you for reminding me that. All right, 54 likes on this, and I would hit like on this too. Financially, this could do us in. And honestly, y'all. Honestly, y'all, stop it with y'all. Stop saying y'all. Stop trying to sound folksy. You're horrible, horrible people.
I was gonna say he was alight with joy, but he's so angry that she has cancer now too. He's so bitter. You can see every single day Ethan is so bitter about pretty much everything that happens, whether he even thinks it's good or not.
Right.
He's so sensitive. His emotions are so frail and easily frazzled, I guess you could say.
He got so triggered. He threw something in his room.
He threw something because she said y'all.
She said y'all.
You're getting that bothered by the internet. It's time to take a break. It's time to chill. Calm your roll.
Eric Withers is inappropriate affect.
Eric Weathers is sitting here going, how did I get here?
yeah.
Oh, look,
you can see.
That's fine, but they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. How could a comic pro, how could somebody who's just about this, that, and the other do it? They know. They don't have the self-respect not to do it.
But it's like you can almost practically see the realization on his face of, oh no, I'm seen. I'm on webcam on here.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see if he comes back or not then, won't we?
Yeah, and I'll say, like, if he's like, you know what, I don't like that happened, that would actually be extremely redeeming. But the longer time passes, and I'm not talking about for us, I'm talking about for the global image, the optics of it, the way the world will see you in the years to come. The sooner you say, okay, yeah, I'm not really into this, the better for who you are as a person and how people will see you for the rest of your life, which has nothing to do with us even. It's just, again, we didn't put a gun to these people's heads, make them go on webcam and start gloating about a woman getting breast cancer.
Also, it's in a preconscious way. They don't use their words. They don't say things in a conscious, more sophisticated way. It's a regression, a devolution.
Yeah, they don't think before they act.
Well, like some of the people on Twitter who loathe this woman, who have actually said about her in the past stuff like, basically, I hope she's physically injured in some way. even they have said, you know, she's bad for comics. She said terrible things. It's reflected poorly on her a lot of times. This is an opportunity for her to take a step back as well, but I don't think she will. Like, that's even that. Some people would say, like concerned trolls especially, would say, like the I Want to Believe hangers on, who frustrate Mecca McCheese's presentation so much with the sort of disengagement. Even the people who try and disengage and concern troll would have a problem with that. But that is expressed in a conscious, sophisticated way. Like you're saying, she is a terrible person, in my opinion, and hopefully this resets her priorities to something a little bit more important than scoring points off apparent political opponents in damn comic books, sort of thing.
And it might not too, which would be, you know, that's not good for
that's
her.
on her. That's on her. You've got to get rid of negative energy when you have an aggressive cancer, because mental state's a big part of it. Everybody knows that.
Well, I mean, just look at Ethan
and the rest.
Ethan
they
looking
slide
like he
back down
aged.
the evolutionary scale. I mean, that they regress, and then it's like this sort of desperate grasping for anything to almost literally fling like poo, like a monkey flinging poo, rather than making a better point, which they could.
Right.
I mean, hell, what would be the best thing if he really was in control of himself and his Ethanites and war campaign? The best thing would have been, where's her GoFundMe? Okay, I'm donating $1,000. There you go. I'm the bigger person here.
Yeah,
there
even if it's just like a shallow way to be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm a good person.
Well, it's all
Even
shallow.
if it's meaningless and shallow, it's still, you know, something. It's
all shallow.
It works.
She's never beat him in a Formula One race. She's never even beaten him to a job or something. They're not really competitors.
The rest of the grave at this point.
They didn't draw for the same comics.
But I mean, not even the same type of comic. They're from two different eras in American comics in the first
The only
place.
thing she really did was that Rat Queens thing, and that was 6 issues. That was her longest run on
And
anything.
apparently, Doug gave to her GoFundMe, and
Yeah.
Doug has said some not so nice things about Tess
Oh,
Fowler.
yeah.
Well, Tess Fowler scuttled that.
And Tess Fowler scuttled the Sean Gordon Murphy deal.
Which I mean, although that was ultimately up to Sean Gordon Murphy to do or not do himself, but
There you go.
But the fact is,
so
no one had to
are we
attack
screaming at him? Are we screaming at him? Are we screaming at Doug? Are we even screaming at Tess Fowler, even though I think most of us or all of us really, really dislike her? No.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the upside in doing that? In that kind of hate, there's no upside. There's no victory. And karma will get you. You're booking yourself a 10-ring punching match where karma's got you on weight and reach. Because
instant karma, even I would just look at
it turns people against thought leaders when they go petty when they don't have to. Now, they use this as a means of shocking and outrage, and also a means of screening out people who are less susceptible to their cult conditioning. So most of their audience, pretty much all of their audience other than hate watchers, are participating in a kind of negative emotional outlet with this sort of thing, hate preaching. But despite that, this goes too far, and there are third parties who watch this stuff still, and that kind of thing is really quite sick. And 1 in 3 people have cancer or are directly affected by it with a family member. So it's not a smart bet to laugh about people getting cancer in a world where it's very common now.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised they went that far in a way. I mean, I wasn't, but I was. It's like Daddy can't rape us all, really. The damned don't back away from any of this. They just go, oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, it also shows you Ethan doesn't have any friends, because anyone that really cared for that dude would say,
real friends,
hey,
definitely.
what the hell are you doing?
They're all meat shields to him.
They're
just
trying to collect a little bit of that money he's got floating around him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
But the takeaway from this isn't so much Ethan, who's predictable. It's Maya, who's the nice guy. He's the good guy. He stays out of it. He's right there front and center.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. Yeah, I've
laughing.
seen people white knight for Richard by saying, oh, he doesn't have anything to do with his drama. And it's like he's made video after video. He's made a 100-hour epic about a tranny. You know, he is constantly involving himself in the drama. He just doesn't go on Twitter. You know, there's really no difference. in the engagement if you're still involving yourself in the drama. And he is on screen. Oh, it's possible to die from laughing from a woman having breast cancer.
Well, if Meyer
But then
hadn't
this gets
caused,
back to their woman problem, really.
if Meyer hadn't caused all that drama to begin with, the whole
Yeah.
Mark Wade thing wouldn't have happened at all. So
he definitely helped incite it because he's not smart enough to try to downplay it or get it to go away. Because that doesn't build your YouTube channel.
No.
The problem they've got now is that Captain Cummings has re-entered the game. Player 4 has re-entered, and player 4
and he leveled up, man.
Was directly talking to EVS and Maya for a long ass time.
He knows where the berries are bodied.
He's a direct participant in a lot of the conversations that everybody else has just speculated about.
Who are we talking about?
Captain
Cummings.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
No.
when he says there were 5 people bidding for that Jawbreakers bullshit, he's not like, I bet there were. He's saying, I know there were.
Yeah, because he was talking to all of them. He was in the DM,
and not in a spy way. They were just talking.
They were used to all be friends. They were all on the same side, or so they thought.
Well, they were copying him to begin with.
Yeah, basically.
They refined what he was sort of stumbling around doing, and his heart wasn't in the grifting. His heart was in I've got a mad problem with this comic book. This needs to be spoken about. Whereas they were monetizing it from very early on. But the Hutt's actually, the Shakespearean fool amongst us has struck again because he's put it all together. He's got a lot more to lay out. And,
it's almost like Columbo in that way. People are going to write off. I don't even like him that much. I'm not subscribed to him. But, when people write him off, it just makes it that much easier for him to blindside people.
Well, he came out with a kind of M. Night Shyamalan twist ending to the story recently. Back to Ethan, but he came up with maybe it was an op the whole time. Like he's like, Ethan and Mark are still best buds. The whole thing is an op, bitches.
I've got the Liam Playboy clip if anybody wants to see.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
For the love of God, yes.
I've been looking for it.
You got it now?
Yeah. You want me to go ahead and share screen?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Will it share the audio? It may not, but
Vicky's a YouTuber. She knows her shit.
But I mean, you may have to be the host to share the audio. I don't know. Does that?
Let's see what happens.
No, you don't have to be the host. There it is.
All right.
There we are.
Do you guys know who I am? Do you know the circumstances I come from? My name is William.
No one knows who you are.
A situation that is almost guaranteed worse than anyone that you have probably ever met in your life.
Who are these dorks?
My entire body is covered in cigarette scars, cigarette burns, and scars.
Man, I've put out cigarettes, or is that his parents putting out cigarettes?
I was a dead-end punk my whole life. I was told I was good at nothing. The only thing I could do is take a punch and throw one. I was a piece of shit. Everyone's parents told
nothing changed.
Told their kids not to be friends with me because I was that kid. Okay,
what was Christ Gow doing?
That's who I was growing up. I had no fucking hope. Then,
still don't.
Then, I stole a comic book. Read it, and my friend's uncle had comic books, and I sort of got interested in those. You know what I mean? So we went and I helped out in the cellar with that, and I sort of found Spider-Man. And eventually found my way to a comic book about Ben Reilly. Spider-Man, I want to say.
Oh, one of the worst Spider-Man comics. Okay.
It's about this clone. It's funny you mentioned the Frankenstein.
Yeah, the maximum clonage, the worst Spider-Man comics ever.
Had cloned Peter Parker.
And, you're talking over the fat material.
Where he sort of comes out of this tube, and he doesn't understand who he is.
Pause it for a minute, go ahead, Vicky.
And he's trying to sort of comprehend.
So I think if you want to interject something more than a second, you should ask for a pause. Just format.
I was just saying though, he's talking about like the worst era, the maximum clonage, the worst era of the Spider-Man.
Not surprising.
Yeah, and he stole it. I mean, who did he punch? I wonder to get this wonderful treasured comic from.
So he's a self-admitted thief.
Yeah.
I mean, he left the
Clone Saga, right? And that's like he's a hack. He clones. He rips off shit, right? So
Yes, it makes sense.
yeah, there's no irony there.
It fits for the whole their whole circle, their whole movement.
Comprehend what's going on. And meanwhile, Warren, who's cloned him to destroy the life of Peter, and who hates his guts because he looks like Peter, and he beats him savagely. So it's like his father being his son, which brought me back to, which was one of my earliest memories myself. And the big question, like, why? Why is this happening to me? And it played out on the page in front of me. I thought, what the fuck? So then I read, and throughout that story, Peter, well, he goes on to become the character called Ben Riley. Goes on, and he eventually finds himself in a situation where he can barge into Peter's life and take it all over for himself. And try and like come in and say, "Oh no, I'm really Peter," because he's got all these memories and all this stuff, and he feels like he's sort of entitled to it. But instead, he decides, no, that will just make these people unhappy. And
Really?
Pause it.
Yeah. I love the way Liam Gray just tells a story.
What he's actually talking about is stealing someone else's life. Never mind the dressing up about why and how. He's talking about being an imitation, about actually stealing someone else's identity. He's talking about identity theft. I mean, he can dress it up as, you know, like the other day with the fight, and he was trying to protect kids. I mean, no one believes that either. The motivation that's used to explain what he's doing, sure, but the compulsive element of it is imitation and impersonation, which I find very telling and makes a lot of sense.
He's looking at the left-hand corner a lot, and usually you're engaging in imagination. So that's bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
He seems to have a weird connection to just childish comic books, you know, not even good comics, but he's trying to align as like, yeah, man, this tells the story of my life. And is there anything less you want to spend your time around than a person who's like, yeah, let me tell you about how this Spider-Man comic, I really relate to it. And it's like, ew, I wouldn't want to spend any time around you, talking to you. Just these weird, creepy nerds with a creepy history. Not unless they were actually a good person. Like if you knew them deep down inside, it's like, okay, this guy's a good person. But if it's like a guy who beats up his mom, telling you about like, yeah, man, when I was a kid, I read the Spider-Man comic and it really touched me. And it's just like, you know, why don't you get away from me? How about I don't have anything to do with you, please? But instead, here's all these dumb losers who clearly are a little too obsessed with comics themselves, and don't have, you know, healthy outlets or.
Is this the Playboy clip though? Is this the one with the supermodel?
He gets to it in just a second. He's as soon as he finishes with the Spider-Man stuff. He then goes on.
You know, I'm looking forward to that. Let's skip to that then.
Find out the man that he will become and who he will be. Growing up, every single person I knew besides one person became a drug addict and ended up in prison or with kids when they were 16.
Ooh.
Every single person I knew in this town ended up fucked.
wait a second.
I had to come back here where I'm living right now because of the parvo.
Can you pause for a second though?
I can't have my they could get sick again, right?
He knew all these people in jail, but there's clearly one person he knows who should have and hasn't. I wonder, you know, how much more of a criminal record. But I mean, didn't people look into that since his public information, you know, his name is out there? So it's like he hasn't gone to jail before this. I'm kind of surprised because he's always talking about fighting other people. So he hasn't been arrested more than once. I guess aside from beating his mom up.
He's still going with the parvo thing, even though he doesn't have the dogs anymore.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Did anybody notice that?
That's
he's
a weird
living there. He's living there because of the parvo, even though he doesn't have dogs.
And the cured.
Also 6 equals 7 minus 3 equals 7.
I think
right.
Parvo is how his
die.
character got his superpowers. Phenotype.
So here we go.
So I'm teaching a couple of kids next door to read. You know, I've got a dramatic junkie father kicking in the door, threatening to beat the fuck out of his missus. I got chaos everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I got to fight nearly every fucking day. I've got bruises all up my shoulders from just fucking last night. Right? I write comic books because once upon a time, I read a story about a guy who was born into a really bad situation, and he went, even though it would be better for me to be a bad guy, I'm going to take the high road and be a good guy. And then when I was old enough to get out of here, I toured with punk bands. I went all over the world. I didn't care that I didn't know where I was going a lot of the time. Like when I had money, I went all over the world. I've been to China. I've been to Tibet. I've been to places. I've met rock stars, celebrities. I've done everything that I've ever wanted to do in my life. I've lived life like a god. I've accomplished great things. I've owned 4 houses in my lifetime, coming from no money. No one gave me a chance. Everyone said, Liam, you're not going to do anything. And I fought harder and pushed harder. Everyone said, you can't. And I said, I can. And now I'm going to save the comic book industry.
No.
Story. And no one's telling it anymore. Okay? So when we're talking about what can you do for your community, keep that in mind, that there are people whose lives are saved by these books. They're not just pretty picture books. Okay? Absolutely. There are people who don't have dads, who don't have hope, who don't have future, who need heroes that are going to teach them the lessons they need because they've got no one else to learn from. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah. Comic books.
And that's what I've given my life to.
Good job.
My main role
my story.
My main role model growing up, my main role models were Gregory Peck and Jimmy Stewart because Dad wasn't there, right?
Who's there? I thought there was the supermodels, but I mean that to be honest, that was still fucking Jim Tooner said this guy's a total psychopath. You can see it. You can see the way he even talks about like
I live life like a god.
I'm gonna save comic books. How? By beating up your mom? I really don't. I don't think so. If you beat up your mom, no, that's it.
It's the strange, exaggerated sense of self and expectations out of.
He's living in a fantasy world.
Fantasy prime, that's right. It's a world that takes a few steps into a dream and then the normal reality dissolves and it becomes a self-fulfilling narrative that just fuels itself from any strange little incident or challenge. The challenges become insurmountable. Even small ones, even simple things like earning money, paying bills, becomes an insurmountable challenge.
The other people sitting around watching that and going like, yeah, this guy who beat up his mom, he's gonna save. We're all in this together. That's actually what's more sad is that it's like a homeless guy. It's like Terry A. Davis sitting on the sidewalk, selling pencils and string, calling every passerby the N-word, and people, sitting around, gathering around, being like, "We're gonna follow you. We're on your side." Nobody can actually do that, but on the internet, people are doing that.
They're codependent.
Yeah.
You
can see the codependence on their faces.
You can't get this much cringe
delusion,
as concentrated as it is on Liam's channel.
Yeah, I really think Kiwi Farms is missing out, but they're apparently starting to really catch on. But they've been missing out on all this because this is not even the. This isn't the cringes, the worst it's ever been. It's about average for the past few years. It's just that,
but it's so consistent.
Yeah, it's wonderfully consistent, and again, it's like, why would Kiwi Farms? Isn't that what the site's supposed to be about? And they've been missing out this whole time.
He needs his own thread at this point.
Well, I mean, the Comicsgate should be about all of this, but yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't.
Oh, and did you catch that he was teaching kids how to read?
Yeah. He was over there teaching them how to read when the dad shows up.
And he's also saved puppies from the parvo virus at great expense to himself.
Cured them. He created the cure to parvo.
But I mean, I hate to be the behavioral psychologist again, but if you cut through the motivation and the scene setting, he's talking in the case of puppies and the children.
The fantasy.
He's talking about extremely vulnerable or defenseless smaller creatures,
like himself, apparently,
which are in some way in his power, and that's a red flag.
Yeah, and
they're not his children, for example, that he's talking about.
Like a transposition of himself being, helpless
and speaking more to your point, in Liam's puppy story, he heals the puppies and then gives them away.
Yeah, he doesn't keep them, of course, because why would you keep But he doesn't want them to get super parvo from him or something.
Right.
I don't know what.
Well, he just doesn't want the narrative to continue because it's not a consistent narrative. So any prop to obtain any kind of emotional release, once it's served its purpose.
And don't forget, 6 out of the 7 puppies went to homes with kids for them to play with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want my dog to have parvo? Do you want that around your children?
Yeah.
Sure. Then the kids
Yeah,
get
it's not a big-
parvo.
All right, so I have another clip, and I don't even know what's in it.
Oh, that would be a nice surprise clip.
Surprise clip. We ready?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Okay, this is over on Big Steve's channel. So
One view.
One view. Well, if you notice,
I think I know which one this is.
It's unlisted.
Give that a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'll thumbs it up right now. There we go. And I'm going to subscribe to Big Steve. Thank you, Big Steve. All right, let's
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh, you can't share. Oh no, Raging Golden. Wow, this is not going to be good for stupid Raging Golden Eagle.
Are we ready?
I feel bad for him, but yeah, I'm ready.
All right, and can you hear it?
No.
Nope.
No. I keep forgetting to check box. Hold on.
Yeah.
Even I hit the share audio clip.
Yeah.
Tisk tisk.
I feel like it should just do that automatically. But maybe,
Yeah.
Oh.
But it doesn't because of reasons.
Oh, okay. So no, not that one.
I like Jim Tuner's comment also. He's one of those guys who incorporates every TV show he's ever watched into his life story.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like a Gary Stu overpowered anime character.
Yes. He's the Gary Stu of his own life.
You can watch it happen in real time as he confabulates about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready.
Which is more that much more creepy, of course.
Okay, here we go.
You can't tolerate.
Oh, Jesus! What the fuck is up with Cecil?
He's been wearing that lately.
They're playing funny dress up.
Fuck is up with Cecil?
John.
Why is he
Malin.
not orange?
Christ.
Who's the other guy who wears the beanie that Tim Stone or Tim Pool? He looks like a homeless crack addict. Tim Pool. He's like Tim Pool if he was trying to hide his eyes, though. And it's like, what are you trying to hide your eyes for?
Yeah.
There's definitely something wrong with Malin.
There's just something weird about all these guys wearing these beanies indoors.
Yeah, indoors.
Where's a house
To the White House, even.
Yeah.
Hey, I wear my beanie indoor. Don't insult me.
Would you wear it to the White House though?
No. We're off topic, guys.
Oh, okay.
All right, are we ready?
Right.
Okay.
All right, and we're gonna go.
Fanboy and just be nice to War Campaign.
Well, we shouldn't have to tolerate fanboy because the truth should be two steps.
Right off the bat, you got to be nice to War Campaign. They're called, first of all, they're called War Campaign. You need to spare their feelings.
Yeah. Gentlemen, there's no fighting. Wait, I believe this message is going to paraphrase a famous line.
Yes.
Gentlemen, no fighting with War Campaign.
Yes. Holy shit.
Sided.
Well, I'm saying this, John. Don't worry about him because the fans are going to see what the fans are going to see. The customers are going to make their own decision. But if they see you, some of them are not going to agree with you about why you're mad at them, and then you lost customers. So why should you lose? Is what I'm saying. Why?
I muted them. Yeah.
Okay, so that's.
But I'm not gonna sit and act like they're not. They're innocent over there, and they're not doing
saying
it.
Yes, act
they're
like
harmful. They're harmful.
Well, I'm saying that's fine, but that's not something the customers need to hear.
That recoil.
Like they
That
don't
fucking
exist.
recoil from Ethan.
Yeah, if we acted like War Campaign, this whole place would blow up. It'd be a powder keg. Cecil and I are not the threat to Comicsgate, guys. We're not a threat at all.
This guy's fucking delusional. If we act like War Campaign, you already have been for years now.
Yeah.
There's no difference. What has happened was always going to happen. You were always going to all act like War Campaign anyways.
He was Coach Malin for a long time to them.
Yeah, and he was sitting there watching happily as other people also were, that even people who have left. I don't mean Doug, because Doug definitely wasn't. He didn't cotton to that stuff, but some other people certainly did until it turned against them. But they were all happy to have War Campaign on their side, being like, "Yeah, War Campaign. They're good, innocent guys. They're going to help save the comics industry. They're called War Campaign. They're called like nobody seems to even caught on to that. They're called War Campaign. does that not say everything that needs to be said? Apparently not. They're still like, oh no, I don't understand. Why is this happening? Fucking.
What happened with the Anna cover?
Straw guns Malin.
That was Cecil and Malin versus War Campaign. So what happened with that?
Oh, the War Campaign won, but I think they've been talking about. Or no, yeah, they won. All right, so it was $3,000, and they then got a little upset when there was the split because they're like, we gave Cecil $3,000. He stabbed us in the back. He stabbed us. But
always the stabbing in the
always
back.
the stabbing in the back. There's always the stabbing in the back.
It's morally consistent with them. How does it keep happening? It's so mysterious.
How much backers are actually war campaign? But if they're saying your war campaign is irrelevant, yeah, don't worry about war campaign. Exactly.
Yeah, but irrelevant. But also, hey, there's nothing wrong with them. But Malin, you don't want to be against war campaign.
Well, here's a question: if war campaign is irrelevant, how come Ethan can't tell them, "Hey guys, what you're doing
to fuck off"?
Cool. Yeah,
they're just fans. We can't police the fans' behavior.
Right.
It's because they have something on Ethan, though. That's the real reason.
Because they got a cover out of him too. A shitty,
I had tweeted yesterday, maybe the day before, that Roe has Ethan's testicles in a jar by his his nightstand, and it's true. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh yeah, there's some metaphorically, of course.
If
it
you
could
watch
be literally
them,
for all we know, but
if you watch them interact, especially like on Liam's stream where Roe feels very free.
I have it. I'm gonna pull up that video for you here.
Did you see the one where he went after Ethan for allowing Cecil to to drink himself to death? And Ethan,
yes, I did.
Ethan says, I don't have any control over a grown man's drinking. And Roe's like, all you got to do, dude, is just say something.
Yeah.
He's like,
or go into the basement, take the bottle out of his hand.
He's your friend. Just say something.
Why would
Ethan says, well, back in January, Cecil he stopped drinking and he was just awful for YouTube. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, let's kill a friend to get some YouTube clicks.
He made bad streams. I was just like, oh my goodness, dude.
Cecil's not that interesting when he's drunk. Drunk or sober, he's a bore. All of them are bores. They're fucking they're milking the pay pigs, telling them what they need to hear, what they want to hear, but it's not actually entertaining except at their own expense.
I think it was the only time I ever agreed with Roe.
Yeah,
about anything.
I mean, Roe sounded like he was right, but sounds naive.
Roe has been, dude. Roe has
points.
been the truth teller lately. He's like, Anna's book is shit. I'm like, yes, it is. He's like, Adam Brendan, it's an asshole, and no one likes him. I'm like, you're right again.
But it very much sounds like broken clock syndrome, of course.
Well, by
the way, Ro, welcome to Comics. Welcome to the Real Comicsgate trademark. You are now repeating what we have been saying all along, years before you ever start saying it. Ro, love, go baby, talk about that. Fucking queer.
All right, we're ready. So here is Ethan and some Roe encounters that you guys might like. All right.
I can't wait to hear some whiny girls.
Feel big. I'm gonna turn up the audio is up. Okay, here we go.
No, but this is I agree with you because I know the war campaign does not dox.
We're trying to sell a book here.
We're already off to a great start. Right?
Yeah, right off the
bat.
Just lying.
Doxes, and
he knows they did. Not only does he know that they did, he attacked them early 2019, being like, war campaign doxed someone, and they were gonna blame me.
And they were gonna let me take the fall for it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying, fuck war campaign, fuck these guys, sell them out. Now, again, it was very public.
Yeah.
The Fall of Rome. It's the Fall of Rome stream. If anybody's interested, I think it's still up on his channel.
I think
we have a running commentary from Victor in the chat too, which is providing I don't know what one would call it really, an attempt at a counterpoint perhaps. But
all right, see. Maybe this is of the almost disappeared kindness of Ethan when he's trying to be kind to war campaign, even though it will hurt him in the future. Huh? Good point.
The kindness, of course, was always a play. It was always fake.
All right.
Never
ready?
writing real kindness.
Okay.
He's a psychopath.
Here we go.
Vickyverse. It turns out to be somebody else. So, like, see, Ethan War Campaign does docs, and I'm like, no, I don't think they do. So there's another explanation, and it turns out there is another fuck.
He doesn't think that they do. They don't do it, but he doesn't.
There's another explanation, which is Tug did it.
Well, we went from War Campaign doesn't docs to I don't think War Campaign.
It's a complete contradiction.
I still have the phishing link that one of Ethan's mods sent me in my DMs.
Oh yeah, to get your password or something. Or
Well, it was some tiny URL link that went to, I guess it was called Grabify, but it came from his Sheila Aliens mod, who's still active.
Oh, you know the Micah Curtis's Human Shield thing? Micah has posted saying, I would be a really good human shield. There's a reason I never
of course. He's
Micah's like, I love it.
He's born. You can see by the facial structure of his head. He's born to cuck out to an e-celeb. He's meant to be ruled by.
And Cummings has called him Bobby Hill, and saying, I love that Bobby Hill is trying to paint himself as the Patrick Swayze Roadhouse figure. Bro, working security for the Walmart parking lot for $8 an hour isn't impressive. Try signing up for the military and guarding government secrets.
It's not for $8 an hour. It's for fucking public service. It's for.
Are we ready?
For jail time off. That's what it's for.
All right, here we go.
An explanation. A War Campaign did not dox. Yeah. So here's the thing. Roe came on this show. Roe was joking. Roe was pretending to be like a Charles Manson cult leader. He's like, I got all your doxes, motherfucker.
That was totally a joke, by the way. That time that Roe was like transcripts
so funny.
That was totally a joke.
Exactly. Roe was doing a bit, and it was really funny unless you're a guy who, like the day before, was afraid, just got a threat of a dox.
Because that makes
the problem with it is that it basically the implication of the dox is please do violence to this person, and that's the problem with it.
So doxing
morally, in a way, like
it's terrorism. It is terrorism. I know where you live, but now everyone else knows where you live too.
But somebody like Vickyverse, it's almost like if I were like Tug, I would say I want to know who this person is in case I have to take legal action against them.
Whoa!
And that's one thing.
And I'm like, so Tug was contemplating legal action against Vicky? I'm like, for what?
Question, Caesar.
I should have muted myself. I'm sorry. I just that was just too much. Doxing is terrorism,
right,
and a threat of violence. But it's okay that Tug did it to Vicky.
Right.
Yeah. I love that.
Thinking about legal action that I can't even describe, and that was Ethan's justification for calling for the deep dive on me. Is I was thinking of suing him. So okay.
It becomes okay because after all, you questioned him about the ribbit coin.
Right.
You went on his stream and that that he threatened to sue, and he's like, hey, what you kept to the facts, and he's like, I'm going to sue everybody, and it's like, okay, but what about you said this? And then you also said this, and it wasn't that. And it's like, oh, you're just gonna do everybody. It's just. It's
top face is all the excess fat they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody see Micah posted up his physical stats on Twitter today?
42-inch waist.
And his 56-inch chest. And I was just like, dude. Did you? But not his weight.
With that?
What's his cup size?
Yeah,
exactly.
All right, we ready?
Bigger than mine.
Here we go.
They are is one thing. Spilling it out onto the internet is a whole other matter.
Hell, how are you?
All right, so now we're gonna go into the clip where Roe comes in.
I know I'm in trouble because Roe didn't call me Caesar; he called me.
I'm a little disappointed. Disappointed.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I got Ozarts. You shit disturbing cunt. How are you, brother? And of course, American Liam. Hail, brother. How are you?
Hail, brother. How you doing, bro?
Thank you.
No, American Liam. He's talking about me.
All right, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, American Liam. All right, hail the chat. All right, man. Where to begin? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Yes. I mean, I've seen some of those clips, and my fucking business is being slandered in front of 1,700 people. What's going on?
So that's where it starts, and then it picks up in another clip. Let me find that real quick.
Liam's clone syndrome kicked in there.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He suddenly became American Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole clone. Yeah, that's right about the clone, clone saga.
Taking somebody else's life.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Liam is such a lol cow.
And yes, Liam does have his own thread on Kiwi Farms. It's all of 2 pages.
It's long.
Yeah, that's right.
It started off because he would come in and he writes novels defending himself on the thread.
The Dear Diary posts.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember one of those.
in Comicsgate.
Yeah, and I think it was actually my comment that caused it to happen. I called him a lying piece of shit, and they don't tend to. Yeah.
No.
Because he said that he and I used to DM, that we were friendly in DMs or on Facebook or something like that. And I'm like, no, we never communicated.
Like he outright said that he had
prove
private
it.
conversations with you that he could dump.
Yeah, I'm like, prove it. And he's but he doesn't.
It's just so odd.
That's the weird thing is that usually with like an actual psychopath is, or even, sociopaths or whatever they're going to be, is that at first, it takes a while for you to realize that there's something wrong with them because they know how to present themselves, that good first impression. So usually they'll come off as friendly for a while, and then it's not until sometimes months later or a year later that you start to realize something's really wrong with them. And, that's so it's not out of the ordinary for someone like them to be friendly, like in DMs, and you might chat with them and that kind of thing. And then later you find out that they're, attacking other friends. And it's like, well, it's not me. So I guess it has nothing to do with me. But usually when you find even one red flag like that, you got to just cut ties with somebody. It's kind of a shame because then it's like, well, how do I even have friends if so many of them are like mentally ill? But eventually, you find people who are real friends who are, mentally well put together instead. But yeah, that was the thing about a real legitimate BPD, like a real cluster B type, is that their lives are built on worming their way into relationships with others. And then if anything goes wrong, they have all of that prior material to use against you. And that's what they are always like subconsciously planning. They don't have to consciously do it. It's all, laid out in front of them. It's easy, but that's how it tends to be. And, Liam clearly would like to do that with people, but he doesn't even have that. That's lame.
They sort of remind me of what Garrison said about the people he investigated for the JFK murder conspiracy when he was talking about a gay underground and how they all wanted to self-aggrandize themselves and make themselves more than they were. It's often been misinterpreted and generalized, and he didn't mean it in a general sense. He meant the conspirators who met, not like on the internet now, but there's some similarities, would never contradict each other's fantastical storytelling about themselves. So if one of them claimed to be like a Scottish laird and try and do a Scottish accent, none of them would sort of say
they would all back
you're
it up.
Not.
Yeah, they would be like, "Yeah,
and
this
then,
guy he's Scottish. I visited him in Scotland."
And then another one would turn up as a Scottish laird, and he said it would end up with 2 men facing each other across the table, neither of whom had been closer to Scotland than New York, exchanging stories about the Scottish Highlands. And these guys are the comic book equivalent of that, because he doesn't have ghostwriting credits. He didn't globetrot. He might have travelled, lots of Australians do, but it's not true, any of it. And this is probably the case with almost all of them. I mean, certainly the ones that we've been exposed to, Antonio Malpica, many of the others, there's not a lot of truth in what they come out with. There's always somebody else's fault.
But they'll always back up each other's lies too, which helps cement the lie to the public, which is important. But the structure, the lies aren't just sort of
throwaway silly lies like Ethan tells all the time. They're quite structured. I mean, there's a whole sort of backstory, like the dogs or the punk band, or helping other people's children is a bit of a pattern. It's not just like, oh, I got in a fight the other day, big deal. It's like, because of this and that happened, and everybody
protecting children and puppies from my evil neighbor. Yeah, you think someone with such a fantastical mind for fantasy would be a good writer, but apparently not.
Yeah. All right. Here, so we're picking up where Ro really lets Ethan have it. He's like, "Hey, what the hell were you doing over there? That's my business, yo. You ready?
Yeah.
Yo.
What did I say? Did I say something?
Not you, but you let it go on, brother. You got to let me know what's going on with that.
I think I say consistently "Hail War Campaign" whenever anyone says anything about War Campaign. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Vestige. I'm a fan of War Campaign. But I do let people speak their minds. Here's the tough thing for me. I have no problems. I want to be friends with everybody on either side there. I like.
All I know, man. All I know is if somebody did that on our stream, we shut them down immediately.
I love that statement. Ethan, all I know is that wouldn't have happened on my stream. But
Ethan, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
And Ethan immediately backpedals. He's like, I always say hail War Campaign.
Yeah. I bring you guys money. Yeah. Check this out.
For 7 hours, these guys are slandering my business, right? That's what's going on here, man. In front of 1,700 people. I mean, these are big accusations, brother. Right? And for a fact.
You got to show me what you're talking about, Roro. You got to show me this shit. No, and I know you've got it. I'm saying I need to see it.
Yeah,
because I feel like I've been loyal to Comicsgate, loyal to Ro.
Look, I know that you're
loyal
to
Mailing.
You're caught in the middle. You're caught in the middle.
Yeah, you're stuck in the middle. I get it, dude. I get it. You're in the middle, man. I mean, fuck. Shit, we've been through so much together. But what I'm trying to say here is that when these guys are out of bounds, they got to be reined in a little bit, especially on a live stream in front of 1,700 fucking people, dude. That's what I got to say.
Ooh,
I don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Ultimate Roro, like Roro love.
Yeah,
that was a little weird.
Always smiled up, was always delighted. Let's not be fucking silly.
Yeah.
Hold
on, let me mute Zombie. I don't want to hear his phone call. So Zombie, I muted you. I will unmute you in a minute or two, but we didn't want to listen in on your phone call.
What can I tell you? You're right. You got to do a better job of that. But I don't come after your business, and I think I've got a pattern
I'm not saying you are.
I got a pattern of behavior at this point.
I'm not saying you are.
Of no longer getting in between squabbles like this, and instead expressing myself by promoting campaigns that I think deserve it. And I've been on the air talking about Vestige, putting money in your pocket. Forget about this.
True.
Putting money in your pocket.
They're each other's cucks at this point.
Let's see
talk about his business, like fucking War Campaign is a business. That quote can be used against Ethan.
Oh yeah, not to mention I put money in your pocket.
Yeah, that's directly incriminating.
Yeah.
Well, he'd said the same thing about the Cyborg USA guy, right?
Yeah.
Malin said all this bad stuff, and to make up for it, I promoted him for days and made him more money. And I'm like, yeah, so that's all it is for them. Right?
He also dated. Yeah, okay. We got to find that part where he dated a supermodel. So anyway, well,
there was a lot to unpack.
There was. It's going to be a long show tomorrow, but yeah, we could start doing Comicsgate trademark streams. That would be funny.
Yeah, you know what? I would be definitely up for that. That sounds fun.
Right. Of course, we have to do them at like 2-3 in the morning.
Always.
And, make sure we're all drunk off our asses.
Right. And I was listening to one clip lately, which was, I didn't think it was significant enough to really clip it, but people or Liam was explaining, they say hail, but it's not like Heil. It's like, hey.
Yeah, the fact that they would even have to address that, it's like, why don't you just stop saying it?
Yeah, why did you stop
Come
saying
off,
it?
already we're coming off looking like a cult.
Yeah.
Stop looking like stop being a cult. First of all, that's my advice.
Yeah, awesome.
But it
All
looks
right.
like so much fun.
All right, everyone. Well, tomorrow I will. What time should I set the premiere for tomorrow's episode?
I don't know. When this show starts, it's 8 a.m. here for me. So
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be at work, so I probably will miss it either way.
All right.
I just want to see it already.
Okay.
Just premiere it now.
Mid afternoon.
At like 11 p.m. All right, I guess we could try it.
Well, it's 11:30 here now.
Yeah.
How about midnight my time?
I haven't even made the thumbnail for it. I'll have to make the thumbnail real quick.
All right. I mean, just I don't know when because there's no good time for me.
All right. So I will premiere this tomorrow at 11 a.m.
All right.
All right. Cool. Give me time to write.
Right at the busiest time of my work day too.
All right. Well, then what?
That's all right. No, it's okay.
Just
It's
to
all
set it up. All right. Look.
I'll just watch the replay instead.
You damn women. I go, should there be a time? No, there shouldn't be a time. How about this? That's the busiest time.
I said mid-afternoon. Early afternoon is great.
Okay, so 1 p.m. then.
All right.
All right.
More intel on that.
You have to definitely not be listening to his phone call.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. There was more drama than writing this week, but next week.
Yeah, I mean, I presented a story that was so much shorter than usual. Nobody even brings something less than 10 pages.
I thought that wasn't allowed.
No,
it can't be over 10 pages.
Yeah, it can't be over.
Because you want to.
I do like it to be 10 pages, but
yeah, you want to keep the segment as short as possible. I mean, this was a little different because this wasn't something I wasn't exactly looking for critical analysis on so much as just, hey, I want to, if I can get this made. And again, I'm looking for money to get this made. I'm also looking for money to help pay off the new computer that I got. I got some good donations on that, by the way. I want to say thanks to the people who donated. But if, as far as a fund to get the comic I presented made, it was just a 4-page comic, so it would be pretty easy. I need to find an artist who could do this, and then I want to get the money to be able to pay them. But I'm not sure how to do that. I'm not sure what the best approach for that is.
Crowdfunding? Yeah.
But I mean, crowdfunding for a 4-page comic, I don't even know.
I mean, well, all right.
I think the minimum is like $500.
You know what I do? You know what I do? Here's what I do. For you, since we're dealing with small goals and small projects,
in this particular case.
Here's what I do. I would go the Brian Ball Patreon route.
Mm-hmm. I do have a Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon. So then just say, all right, I'm hiring some artists and I'm going to release it on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to see it, you got to come back me for like $5 a month or something.
Yeah, I could. I could do that. The thing is, I also wanted to get it into the Comicsgate presents. Whenever that's going to happen, I don't know.
Well, what you do is see, and then after you do that 4 pages, then you do like another, you put together an anthology series, and when it's done, then come to me and go, Preston, it's done. And
how much should I bring in that case?
Oh, well, a book is typically 23 interior pages on an ad. So
you'd want me to bring like a finished, like complete book to put into or would it be like Comicsgate presents this book, or would it be Comicsgate presents a bunch of books including this one?
Okay, well, we're talking about your stuff. So what
I'm back, sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, cool. So what do you envision? All right, so here we go.
What I was thinking was that this would go in between other people's books, like you publish other people's like 10-page or previews. Or
I could certainly do an anthology of lots of people.
So, so this anthology thing, is it going to be a set number of pages per story, or what?
Yeah, that's what we're wondering about.
I mean, I don't. Thomas is the one who has pitched the idea, so I don't know. I'm just listening.
That's what I was thinking that
how long-
Comicscape Presents was going to be, though, was like a bunch of short stories or previews of stories.
No, for me, like it's going to be like a full issue.
Okay. And it would be like Comicscape Presents,
How long?
the full issue thing?
Right. Yeah. So, like, I've been trying to decide what I want to call my Lilia as Human Torch character. I've been thinking Crimson Fury or something, but, like Crimson Fury, boom, here it goes. Comicscape Presents Crimson Fury. And then you have, like a 23-page comic book about her. And
So
then
if I worked up like 20 pages of a bunch of these ideas I had,
right,
to be a full book, then you could put it like under.
Then we could put it under there you go.
But I mean, if it's a full book, I could just be like, here's it's like a Cape Cuck Follies, and it would just be under Comicscape trademark, so it doesn't necessarily have to be Presents. If
it doesn't, the Presents was going to be my shared universe ideas.
Okay.
So like Crimson Fury will be a shared universe character, and then.
But what I mean is it one 80-page book with, a certain number of stories in it, or is it a range of books that are all?
That's what I was thinking at first. It would be like a big book by a bunch of people, of a bunch of different ideas and that kind of thing.
So kind of like War Campaign's doing with CG Jumpstart. Just we want to get a lot of different creative voices.
Well, I was gonna say, Dark Horse Presents was what I was thinking of, which is a bunch of 8-page. Like short stories or previews of full stories that people are trying to get noticed, and that's what I thought the approach was. But there's all sorts of different possibilities.
There are. I mean, look, I'm gonna say where my focus is. Okay, and this is where perhaps I am not the best standard bearer, but I'm the one you ended up with.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly better than a lot of alternatives.
Exactly. So, I mean, look, my focus is on me and the books I'm making, and I hope other people's books are cool and spiffy, but I don't feel a compelling burning need to put together and invest a lot of time and potentially money into kind of putting out these anthology things and going out and recruiting. Yeah, because this sounds like a recruiting showcase kind of thing. Here's our artistic talent. Look, there's a ton of art talent, and particularly with this quarantine stuff, there's probably going to be even more. It's kind of a buyer's market when it comes to finished pages, I think, coming up. So I'm doing good on that front, and so it's not that I'm trying to shut the door here, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't understand why. What's my motivation? I'm like a character wandering through the story, and I'm like, okay, I could see an anthology series, but I don't understand what my role in it would be.
Well, especially because theoretically you would have to eat the cost of printing if it was going to be printed.
Right. Exactly. So,
so the shared universe, we can use each other's characters.
Yes.
So I bring out a comic of whatever length, but I bring out a physical comic. Might be Prisoners of the Gas Giant first, or it might be Philip K. Duck or whatever. But I bring one out. That can either be Comicsgate certified and not shared universe, or it can be certified, or it can be in the shared universe with a different logo, meaning that whatever I put into that comic is open for other people to then take. Correct?
Other people who would be like certified or under the trademark of Comicsgate, as long as they're
under the shared universe, the shared universe license. Is that correct, Preston?
Basically, you were just saying that if you come out with your own story, and the certification mark is going to be a guarantee to the customer, or an assurance to the customer regarding that stuff, and the shared universe is completely separate, and it's kind of it's not. There's not they don't necessarily have to go together. People can do shared universe stuff without involving the certification, and they can do the certification without involving the shared universe. But you could do it both. So,
right.
How's that?
Yeah.
Well, I will go for both.
Okay. No, hardcore people want to see them both. There you go.
All right. Well, I guess
I think the certification is a good thing for customers, and the shared universe is a good thing for creators.
All right. So and yeah, and for easy access to reliable people for different projects. I understand. Building a trademark of Comicsgate, artist, colors, and letters would be good. Well, all right, but here's the thing. All right. So let me
be tricky too. Yeah.
Let me explain what it is and what it's not. All right. So the certification is an assurance to customers, and it is something that is given to a creator for a project. All right. So if people are like, am I Comicsgate? I'm like, unless you are a comic creator coming to me with a project, that is a absurd question. That's like calling up Exxon and asking, can you certify me as a person? And they're like, we just certify octane levels in gasoline. That's all we do here, outside of making it and distributing it. So let's kind of step away from the gang cult oriented thing.
Yeah, I was going to say we don't want to replace a cult with another cult.
Exactly.
But even if this isn't, the new thing isn't going to be a cult, it's like everyone should be able to to float around wherever they want to be.
So we shouldn't be thinking of we need Comicsgate trademark letterists and colorists. No, we don't. We absolutely do not need that at all.
Mm-hmm.
There is a market out there of inkers and letterers and pencilers and colorists, and they do fabulous work. And perhaps some will come about due to this show, but they don't need to give themselves special distinction in the marketplace. Right?
Yeah, it's like a Fiverr doesn't need to trademark their artists. They're just on Fiverr. That's all they need.
And what were we saying, Zombie?
But the mark relates to a finished product.
Yeah.
So anything preparatory or involved in the manufacture of it, including individual tradespeople like inkers or colorists or anybody really, even the writers, that they're not part of the mark.
Mm-hmm.
They could be working for War Campaign, Preston, me.
Right. They could be SJWs. They could be deep in social justice if they're just an artist, though.
Yeah.
And as long as the product.
That SJW thing, really, that's gone too, really.
Yeah.
We still sort of use it, but really it's gone. It's gone. If it ever had a real meaning.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
The whole thing may have just been an op. Like the M. Night Shyamalan, there were no SJWs the whole time.
That's all I know.
Well, I know that I'm one of the people who frequently gets accused of, everything's a conspiracy sort of thing.
Right.
The only reason I ever suggest things like
and yes, I could see
because it can often be.
Right.
It is actually something people do plan out. The kayfabe controlled opposition stuff. It's quite common, and this is something.
There's a lot of kayfabe going on.
Cummings said this five years ago, and then 3 years ago.
Right.
But there's a lot of this. I'll be the good guy. You be the bad guy. We get the fake rivalry. We both make sales. But more fundamentally now, the trademark Comicsgate, real Comicsgate versus War Campaign, has. I originally thought it would be writers versus artists, more or less, but it's actually turned into professionals and semi-pros, which is a term that some people hate. But what I mean by that is people who are about to go pro. So graduates, I suppose. So you've got professionals versus hate-fueled amateurs who don't want to, quote unquote, do the work. They don't want to commit to doing work on benchmark basis to actually get better. They want to defend their current level as though it's something good and then tear everybody else down or disrupt everybody else. We don't seem to be like that, any of us at all. We actually are professionals, or we're going to be professional. The other side, the War Campaign types, just put way too much energy into the non-professional or unprofessional aspects.
Yeah. And all right. And this person has, well, I could theoretically, certify artists so that creators have more assurance, but I don't want to get into that. That's like business to business stuff. And look, my goal will be to guide creators, and I probably will put out more information because creators seem to need information about how to do stuff, and part of it will be how to vet your artists. But look, if I can just write an article on how to vet your artists, and have you worked for other people? Can you give me their references? Did let me talk to those people? Did you deliver on time?
And it's a totally different form of certification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about trade certification.
Right.
You don't even have a trademark in that area.
Exactly.
And then they're going to turn around and say, well, what school did you go to, Preston? Did you go to the
Exactly. And I don't know a damn
Did you?
thing about art. I can't look at an inker's stuff and go, well, and then you fuck that up. So, that's way out of my depth.
Well, letting them kind of
and it's looking at it's a guaranteed nightmare because sooner or later you'll let an enemy through the gates.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. The bomber always gets through.
Yeah,
Boom.
the last thing you want.
Scandal. They've run amok. They cause trouble with everybody. It's just not worth it. And also, there's a lot of different art mediums that are going to be used in different ways and different styles. It's just nuts.
Yes.
And why the hell should everybody use the same cover artist and all that shit anyway?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
letting them all just seems a bit, like not wanting Sashi to do pinups for Richard.
Exactly. Yeah, there's that.
It's just too cringy.
Yes.
Yeah, at some point it's just about, okay, did you finish the book? Okay, the book's finished there. Put the stamp on it. It should be about the product and not about the people who made it.
It's
I think that will be one of the single biggest problems you run into, Preston, with your certification and the general trademark is people coming under it who haven't got a finished book.
Right.
Because you would be softer on that than I would be, because I'd just say, if it's not a finished book, get the fuck out of here. Whereas you sound like you will say...
well, it still has to be a finished book, doesn't it? For it to...
well, no, apparently not.
I mean, I wasn't thinking of doing that policy. I mean, I was thinking of either, you had a finished book now, or you have a track record.
Yeah, and the track record usually is a good
Although
thing.
the more I think of it, maybe it should just be to have a finished book because, I mean, even if you got a track record, you're still talking about doing a campaign and then it's going to be how long before you make it. Although, look, I gotta say, all right. Well, because we talk about him a lot, let's look at Richard C. Meyer. He comes out with a book like once every 2 months? A couple months, I guess. And he's been late a few times, and right now he's got a lot of balls in the air. He's got Pandemic, and then a Jawbreakers, and then what's
Did Ironsides 2 come out yet?
Yeah, Ironsides 2 hasn't shipped yet, I don't think. So he's got a bunch of balls in the air. But at the same time, he has delivered a fair number of times. So, if we have someone like that, what should we do? Should we give customers assurance that, you'll get your book? Or should we go, no, you know what? Your book's not done. Fuck you. I don't know.
Well, one thing you could do is have an aspirational statement. So they're not allowed to use your trademark, certification trademark, until it's finished. But they are allowed to say in their campaign, it is our intention to obtain and display the Comicsgate trademark certification when the book is complete. So in other words, they're saying, as you do with ISO and quality manuals sort of stuff, quality control stuff, we are not yet fully ISO, whatever number compliant. However, we are taking steps to be so. And then you can just tell everybody, I mean, you can formalize it, you probably should, but you can put it on the wiki as a page about the guidelines sort of thing. But really, you should just say, look, I'm not going to certify you unless 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you don't do that, you're not going to get certification.
Right.
And at the
Doing
moment,
the
it doesn't
book is
look-
the application process.
Yeah.
Finishing the books when you get the...
Okay, fair
when you
enough.
get the
There you
job.
I thought I'd raise it because it did sound like you were not just going to have finished books.
Right. Okay. Well, now you've given me some suggestions there. There we go.
Yeah, I think going
Because
by
really,
just finished
the
books
question
makes a
is,
lot of
are you going to? I mean, you are now not a de facto leader; you're a real leader and a trademark claimant. So, if we're going to continue to be professional, just like the SRD for Die 20 role-playing games and the equivalents, the few other imitators of it, or OSR, you do have to stake out your leadership position because there's only two alternatives from here. There's only two paths in the fork. One of them is you develop a nicer, more pleasant and professional, but still similar to war campaign following of wannabes, amateurs, who are struggling along making books. The other one is the bar set higher. And those people, if they're serious, have to do a bit more training, a few more training montages before they enter. So how soft the entry will be for the first timers is really one thing that your decision affects.
Okay.
Because you see what I mean? Like with the SRD, where version 1 of the SRD for Die 20 role playing, you could literally have a one-page piece of shit and the second page would be the SRD.
Right.
Whereas by version 1.2, 1.3, when it hit full swing and there were 1,000 odd products, nobody was still releasing a one-page amateur project under it, and it had self-regulated in the market. So you can learn from that process and just set the bar slightly higher if you choose to, by saying you'll need to have these things to talk to me. You don't have to have a finished book, but you need to have 8 pages of finished art. You need to have this, you need to have that. Kevin Sharp and Dragon Guard, you should definitely have him on one-to-one. I still think so. But he illustrates this well, pun intended, because he has his black and white art. And on his Indiegogo page, he says, this is the actual art. This is not, in any way fake. These are the real pages I've completed. If you give me the money, they'll be colored. If you don't, they're going to stay black and white. But this is the actual finished inked art for the book. So to me, he would easily earn certification even though he hasn't finished the book, because it's pretty obvious he's doing everything right. He should be rewarded and incentivized by saying, when you complete it, you'll be certified. Whereas somebody like, say, Liam Gray or Micah, they're stumbling along. They've still done stuff, but they're stumbling along. They're probably not ready for prime time. And a lot of the others, like Wart the Wizard, Umbrella Guy's book, no, not until they're actually finished. Because, and the same with Cash Grab, the story keeps changing before it's even finished as to what it's going to be. So
which is still so far nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if you certify early, they're using your certification to bring more money in on a crowdfunding campaign. You don't want to get into an implied warranty scenario where, in reliance of your mark,
right,
I gave them money.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. There we go. Good talk.
Yeah, so then I just need to hook up with an artist and get some, if people can donate to Smug Laley on patreon.com. I can help get my comic, my short little comic made too. And I plan to next week have more ideas, more scripted ideas for Cape Cuck Follies or whatever it's going to be called. That will directly be about Ethan and pals. And I plan to
Floppy's
hopefully
hardcover variants in over 100 pages. It was a recipe for disaster. So
yeah.
That
could be a mess if it's the big combination. So it is kind of best to just have to make a book. I want to see if I can get 20 pages of comic ideas made and put them into like sort of my own anthology and just get it under the Comicsgate trademark as soon as possible. So if anyone knows any artists who would be able to work for cheap, because I don't need like the top-notch artist. I don't need it colored, that kind of thing.
Awesome. And the other thing that, when I'm working with artists, like typically, like I don't even really vet them that hard. Because I don't pay until I get the work. I hand them a script. I'm like, draw it, and if I don't get it when I said I'm supposed to get it, then I just go with the next one.
Yeah.
So, and it really didn't cost me that much. So I think the whole idea of
How long a
certifying.
delay does that cause?
Well,
like if someone lets you down.
These were back when I
the
back
early
in
days.
the earlier days, back before I had a more aggressive production schedule. But now, like I'm in touch with more people, and when you're in touch in the art community, and people know people. So once you're
they
starting
know
to,
other artists, yeah.
So once you're working with people, and one of them falls through, the other guys are like, I know this other guy. He's really good. He's done, and they'll tell you he's done X, Y, and Z. He's always on time, and so you just go with that, and that's how it tends to go. Just like when you see movie makers, like Jim Cameron. How many movies did he make with like Bill Paxton and Michael Biehn? It's because, like the guy at the top is like, I like Bill Paxton and Michael Biehn because when I asked them to do these things, they did these things. They went above and beyond. They always show up on time. They're very professional. There's no scandals, so you just develop a level of comfort that, as when you're reading a script, you're like, okay, Michael Bihn's going to play that guy. Bill Paxton's going to play, whatever. It is what it is. So there you go. All right, everyone. I guess this is where we will say goodnight.
It's a big show tonight.
It was a big show.
It was a long one. I'm glad I came in almost an hour late.
I do think so. We're going to have a critique show that should be separate from the writers.
Yeah, we're going to separate that from now on, I guess.
Okay.
Just throw all the rocks in a separate stream.
So when is the Goofy watching stream clips show going to be then?
I don't know.
Should that be like Saturdays maybe?
We'll talk about it on Twitter or Discord, and then it's going to be on my.
Why not have it on Mac and McCheese or Vicky's channel?
Yeah, we can have somebody else's channel.
Yeah. What I mean is, you're the head of a trademark now. You're a professional leader of a trade group,
right?
So if you're part of a Farbenbund or something, then you shouldn't really also be part of a rock throwing.
There you go.
Group
there you go.
In the same way.
So
I'm already one of the most hated women in comics grift, so I'm willing to host.
Awesome. There you go. Okay.
So, that would be good. Toasted butter with Vicky and friends. That beautiful mellifluous voice saying the most terrible blasphemies about Lord Ethan and the rest of the cult leaders.
Lord Caesar, Papa Baby Burger Caesar, Ethan. Asuka in the chat mentions swcmod1@gmail.com if you want to donate to us via PayPal. That'll go towards mainly helping me pay off my computer, which I'm getting close on already, actually. Thanks
Can
to
you set up
people
a
who
Stripe
donated.
account? Is that possible for you? Can you do that?
I guess I could, but I'm not sure what I would need that for versus
I'm going to say
PayPal.
goodnight, and I'm going to let you guys do your business negotiation after the broadcast is over here.
Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye.